Hello, fiends, and welcome to the Monster Party Podcast, now a part of the Fangoria Podcast Network. For more information about the network, including other programs, how to follow the show, and find past episodes of Monster Party, please visit fangoria.com. And now, it's party time. Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another edition, a Comic-Con special edition of Monster Party. Monster Party! Comic-Con!
I'm on fire. I'm excited. I'm so excited.
I am. This is one of our favorite times of the year.
It is.
Comic-Con tradition.
Comic-Con. It's a mecca that we go to.
And who are you, sir?
I am Matt Weinhold.
I am SHAWN Sheridan.
I'm Larry STROTHE.
And I'm James GONIS.
And here we are at Comic-Con once again.
Yes.
And, let's just get to our topic.
What is our topic today?
It's the topic that we usually have here at Comic-Con.
Okay.
And that would be anything goes.
Anything goes.
Whatever you want to talk about.
Anything.
It could be anything as long as it's somehow genre related.
Well, is it
or Comic-Con related?
Yeah,
Right.
Comic-Con. It's not
Yes.
like you were going to
Because
talk about.
Comic-Con is really the birthplace, the genesis
It is.
of Monster
It's the
Party.
thing that
Right.
kind of created Monster
As
Party.
we've said
Yeah.
before, this is like we would just normally get together anyway at one of our hotel rooms after buying all kinds of crap at the dealer's room, and we just start drinking and arguing about sci-fi and horror.
Yeah, we'd
movies.
put on, you'd bring some...
James
Yeah,
would.
yeah.
James would bring some crazy trailer
Or
reel.
Sean would, yeah.
Yeah.
And we'd
show off
laugh
all
at
our
it.
toys.
And we'd show off our stuff.
And we'd bitch about the things that we didn't like about the con and,
Oh my
and
God.
muse about the things that we did enjoy about it and the stuff that we saw that was cool.
Yeah, and a number of years
Right.
ago, we actually filmed us, and we put it on YouTube.
Right. and millions of people check it out.
It's funny you should say that because I think a lot of people have seen it, but it's like we talk about some interesting things, but
A lot is relative.
We were fired.
Tens-
I was
tens
kind of
of-
pushed out of.
tens-
I was
tens of
pushed out of
people.
shape. I was pushed out of shape
Pushed
about
out
a few
of
things.
shape?
Well,
yes.
well,
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
Why? Why?
Okay. Let me. If I could just start really quickly, because I know Matt wants me to do this and get off it. But a few years
Get out,
ago,
yes.
no,
I would like
a few
you to do
years
this
ago,
and get
I
out.
had an issue with Mattel. Mattel.
Wait, are we going back to an old
no,
story?
No, I have no, Matt, bear with me.
We're not going to tell the fucking
listen.
Weberella story again, are we?
No, but here's the funny thing, Matt. I had a bad issue with Weberella, a Monster High doll,
God.
a few years ago, right?
An exclusive.
Now get this, Matt.
Yes.
I go back, and I'm bitter.
Really? I know, you're
I
very
went.
upset.
I went
I really-
when we got here. Remember Thursday. And what do? I'm going to go to the Mattel, and I wasn't sure what was there, and I'm saying, okay,
Yes.
I'm
Sing along, folks.
Okay, no, and Matt, get this. I go up, and there's hardly any line. There's hardly anyone in line.
You were very embittered by that experience because
Yes.
you were trying to get your daughter an exclusive from Mattel,
Yes.
and it was impossible.
So
Thank you for summarizing the
Thank you.
story.
Yes, that's
A little
perfect.
so quickly.
background.
Yes.
So this time I go and there wasn't any line, and I go, "Whoa, where's the line?" Because they have these exclusives there, and it's like, and I go up to a Mattel gal. I go, "So," I was being kind of like, I was snotty. I said, "So,
You're a Cockney?
no, I was saying, snotty.
Hello.
Will you let me tell the story?"
Go
And I
ahead.
said,
Looking for an exclusive, Governor.
And I said, so your exclusives that you have here, like I saw there was a great exclusive for a Star Trek Barbie, and it was a beautiful,
Ooh.
the Orion Slave Girl, Matt.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
and so
yeah.
they got a hot Barbie Orion Slave Girl, beautiful box. And so, but I
Yeah.
go up there.
It really is. First of all, I have to tell you, it is the perfect thing for Larry because it has 3 separate boxes.
It does. But listen, there's a point
It's
here.
like a gangbang for a box fetish person.
See, you always bitch at me and taking too long to tell the story, but maybe if you would be quiet for a moment,
All
I
right,
could finish
go.
the
Finish the
story,
story.
okay?
Finish the story.
So I go up to the lady, I go, so, I take it all your exclusives are gone for the day? She goes, no, were you interested in something? I went, well, yes, but I guess I can only get, I can get 6. No, you can only get 3. Oh, so there's another rule that they changed. I went, well, do you guys have plenty of the Star Trek around? She goes, oh, yeah, we have plenty. I'm on, oh, Oh, okay.
So just get online. There wasn't even a long
No, Matt. So get this. I walked in. I filled out my little form. I went there, and it was $50, and I
have a question. I have a serious question.
I'm wondering.
They make you fill out a form?
Yes, it's
to buy a Barbie.
It says no. It's a list. It says,
will you buy this Barbie? Yes, I will.
No, it's Barbie or the Superman thing, or it's a list. It's a checklist. But I went up there and I got it, and I thought, God, maybe they heard my Weberella rant and actually changed some rules.
Believe the level of narcissism. I'm truly impressed.
No, okay.
They had a special conference.
The fact that you think
when they found out.
Okay, maybe it's
our
not
podcast,
just, Matt, maybe it's not just me. It was many people were bitter about this.
This is a little better. Then.
So
I don't know how many people were bitter.
Okay, I was very bitter. Because get this. You know that Weberella that I got? You know,
yes, I know about it. I've heard
that.
There's a great story behind it.
Okay, I went to a booth. On Thursday, remember, and I saw it $150. So I actually got mine for a little less, but I still had to pay more than the retail.
Right. Well, yes,
exclusive.
even more now.
But I am happy. It seemed like Mattel had heard my complaint and complaints from others, and they changed the rules.
Larry, you actually bring up something that's interesting though, because
what
with Comic-Con, and that is, in other words, something's changed in the way Comic-Con does something, because it does seem like every year the rules change with getting how you get into Comic-Con, how you get your hotel. Like there's slightly different processes.
A little tricky this time.
It does seem to get harder and
easier,
harder.
but easier in some ways, and then it'll be more difficult. Like there's more steps, it seems.
Yes. And different rules about whether professionals can still get in for free, whether they can bring a guest. It is a pretty complex. Arena of it's kind of that is kind of frustrating.
Now, but it is kind of like when you do get that badge, though, there is a feeling of satisfaction. Like,
I
did it,
accomplishment.
Sean, do you kind of think? What I'm wondering is, I mean, it's so well known now. Comic-Con is the place to be. That's where big things happen, and now so many people want to try to get to it. I'm always wondering, Comic-Con goes out of their way to try and make it more difficult to filter out people or something. It's like, well, we'll see who the diehard people are. I
don't know about that, but I do know that. I know we've talked before about how it just gets bigger every year and how it's become more corporate. There's all the big studios kind of pushing their stuff, but also I think that the whole nerd culture is now mainstream. So I kind of wonder, nowadays when we go to Comic-Con, we're seeing, I think they estimate it's about 180,000 people, that go to these things. But nowadays, what is the percentage of people who are going to this convention who are truly at heart real nerds, real geeks, real fans of this stuff, and who are just kind of going because they just heard that it's the thing to do? You know what I mean?
Well, here's my view, which is I think that pop culture now encompasses superhero movies, and it's now a more popular thing.
Sure.
But I think there are more people on the bandwagon because it's okay to be on the bandwagon. You're now not the pariah of your high school if you went to see Civil War and liked it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, these are some of the most popular titles that there are in pop culture. Your Game of Thrones, your Walking Dead, your Marvel franchises. I mean, everybody's into those now.
Yeah.
It's not just nerds anymore. And now you're seeing a lot of families, a lot of, people with young kids there.
Hey, didn't President Obama make a reference to Game of Thrones too?
To the Red Wedding.
That tells you something about that
whole
world.
How much it's just ingrained in our society now. It is true though. It's like the genre stuff, both in movies and TV, are the biggest things, right? They're the biggest tickets. They're the most
they've
popular.
become into the tent poles. Yeah,
the top movies, the top shows.
Right.
Yeah. Like I said, I know you said this before, but it really has changed a lot, the convention. I mean, the days of just driving up for a couple of days and going.
Oh, that's gone, Sean.
It's gone.
It's a commitment. It's a serious commitment.
And also, we talked about this too, that it seems like it's getting where someone who's a vendor who gets one little booth to have their wares, vintage stuff.
Yeah.
Those, I mean,
there's a few of them still.
But Sean, it's fewer and fewer.
Exactly.
I don't know. I actually don't know how they're able to afford it.
It must be
honestly.
so expensive to get a space here.
Mm-hmm.
And everything has a tendency to be overpriced. But all that being said, though, I get a little bit annoyed at the people who can get into Comic-Con, who can go to Comic-Con, and then they complain about, it's too crowded. It's one weekend a year.
Yeah.
You can't just put up with some crowds. I think it's kind of exciting to see thousands of people who are all into the kind of stuff that you like and the costumes. I mean, I would go just to watch people in costumes alone.
You know, it's funny you should say that because I actually we've mentioned this about, you know, even if you're like a little chunky or something, you want to put on that spandex. We're all behind you 100%.
I completely agree.
You know, and this is the one place where
there's no shaming here.
I can put that on. I can put on that spandex.
If only you would.
And no, but I'm saying that I can put that on and I can walk down, you know, the aisle and I can feel proud and people are going to say, "Hey, you look great." You know?
Yeah, well, we have a cast member here.
Yes.
Speaking of
yes, we do.
I don't know, James, do you do this every year or this is kind of a new thing, right?
This is the second time I've done it. The first time I did it was 2 years ago.
Yes.
And this is the second time, but this is a much more broad appeal character.
I see.
The one thing I don't want to do is be in a costume that you see everywhere.
Uh-huh.
So the costumes I've chosen have been very unique.
So
And
you didn't want to
please
be Spider-Man or Superman.
Say who you
know,
were the last time.
2 years ago, I was a character from Boardwalk Empire, the HBO show from the 1920s. I played a character named Richard Harrow, who was a World War I disfigured veteran who had to wear a mask because his face had been shot off. And it lent itself to cosplay because he wears a mask.
Yeah.
Like a kind of like a half face.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
And a very, very, very tiny percentage of Comic-Con attendees noticed it and asked for, you know, a picture or commented on it. But that small percentage was so enthusiastic. And that was awesome. And that's what I was going for.
The smaller percentage, the more enthusiastic they're going to be because it's like such a little kind of esoteric thing.
Yeah.
The
right?
cult costume is always my favorite.
So you-
I can't believe that you came up with that.
Exactly.
So-
It's a cult
So
costume.
you
yeah.
decided you were so successful last year that you're going to do this again. I thought we were all going to wear Monster Party T-shirts, but you decided to go against that rule.
No, but this is okay. This is okay because he's cosplay. And he's
anything
great. He looks
goes.
great.
Yes,
And we're going to have
yes.
pictures that you're going to be able to see.
Yeah.
But please tell the audience who
What-
you are this year.
What are you dressed as?
We've been going to Comic-Con for years now together. And all these years, I have never seen anyone dressed as Jor-El from the 1978 Superman as Marlon Brando's Jor-El. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going to try to do it. And you know what's going to happen? I'm going to show up and there'll be like 5 Jor-Els that day. But no, all weekend.
The Five Jor-Els is one of my favorite doo-wop groups.
No, it's still not, you know, to my relief, no Jor-Els. And that's been a great part of today. And I only wore a costume today, Saturday, because so many of the reactions have been like, oh my God, that's great. And one guy, I think he was a staffer for the Lego booth. He was working, and he was one of the first people we ran into. He was like, I have never seen that. And
He'd never seen a Jor-El here?
I've never seen it either in all these years.
Oh
And that's
my
part of the
God.
reason I wanted to do it. And it was a blast. I mean, if there was just a small percentage before, just the fact that there were so many more people who were giving me a thumbs up, who were like, oh, that's awesome,
Yes.
who were asking for a picture with me.
Yeah.
Even kids came up to me and was like, is that the classic Jor-El? I said, yeah. Oh, I
Wow, that's
really
cool.
like
Wow.
that. It just feels, there's like nothing like it. And I'm not, but you guys know me, by nature, I'm not the
Yeah,
kind
you're
of
not an
person-
attention whore.
Right.
No.
Right.
Like
this
some
is-
people.
Yes, like some people here at this table.
You know what it is? It's
What?
just like if you're going to walk around the convention hall anyway,
Yeah.
you might as well do it in a way where you can, you know, invite interaction with other people. And there's this energy high you get from that. I mean, it was wonderful today.
You know, it'd be great, James, if like with in the remaining days of the convention, if you ran into a guy who was dressed as Marlon Brando playing Dr. Moreau in The Island of Dr. Moreau.
I
That would
haven't.
be awesome.
I've never seen that.
That'd be a good one.
cool.
That's
You know
a good
what?
one.
That's your costume. That's your
yeah,
costume
yeah.
for next year.
There you go.
And you gotta have a little mini me with you, right?
You know what I want to do?
What do you want to do?
You know the scene in The Blob?
Yeah.
Where the blob is coming through the doors of the movie theater towards the end?
Yeah.
What I want to do is I want to make a little tiny model of the
Diner?
movie theater and then just push my balls through it.
Okay. I speaking of balls, I just want to say I saw one of the greatest group cosplays the other day. James was with me, and I couldn't believe it. You know, in this day and age of Ghostbusters, there's going to be an all-female Ghostbusters. There's an all-female cast here. And we saw an Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark set.
Right.
There was a
Yeah.
gal dressed as Indiana Jones.
Right.
There was a gal dressed up
As her dad.
As her dad.
There was a gal dressed up as Short Round.
But the best one was a gal was dressed up as the boulder. The boulder from Raiders of the Lost Ark. And she was behind them. And I looked at it, oh my God, that is so cool. That is clever.
Awesome.
That is great.
And speaking of gender bending,
Yeah.
there have been a lot of men in cosplay dressed up as women here.
Yeah.
I
did notice
saw
that.
a guy in a slave Leia costume.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I
guy
saw
too. You didn't take a picture of that, did you?
No, I missed
The
it.
one I have that I will be sharing at some point. It's the Wonder Woman costume, but it was as if it were designed kind of for a man.
What?
Yeah.
I don't.
All right.
Wait, what?
So it was for a man, but a very, very confident with himself man.
Okay. All right. I missed that.
Yeah, and I took a picture of it. I was like, that is wonderful.
Yeah.
The little kids too, like there was like a little kid dressed in a really good Predator outfit.
Oh, that was great.
I mean, it looked really good, and it was
tiny,
like a tiny
little
kid.
kid.
And you
but
see,
but
he
the
posed.
costume was awesome.
He
Yeah.
did this. There was
Yeah.
because he was with it was either a brother or sister that was dressed as the alien queen.
Right.
And the people were stopping them, and the alien
They're-
was a
they're
big. He get into the
doing
pose,
some
and the
great
little
poses.
kid in the Predator, he got into pose. He was like, has knees bent. It was going I thought that
it
was
was good.
so cool.
And it's the perfect costume for a kid because if you gave a child all the stuff that the Predator has to hunt people,
Yeah.
wouldn't that kid just go and do it immediately?
Yes.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, are you saying that if you had a bunch of costumes all put out and you said, all right, kid, pick out the one that you want, he'd run to the Predator one?
No, I'm saying if you had a costume that was actually a real functioning alien costume from outer space, and it fit a kid, and you go, you could take this, and don't you have some friends in the first grade that took your lunch money?
No, I don't.
Time to turn the tables.
No, I don't think. A kid,
I think so.
That's too violent. I don't think a kid would do that. I think he'd get.
kid?
Never know.
What do you
No,
mean?
I think he'd get like the Mickey Mouse costume or something
Have you
like that.
have
Or-
you never read or seen the movie Lord of the Flies?
Yes, yes.
They're one breath away at all times
Yes,
from
and,
going
and
into
let
that
me remind
mode.
you about Lord of the Flies, my friend. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes a while for them to.
Not that long.
Yeah, but it's not overnight, Matt.
Go to Knott's Farm. You'll see it happening on an hourly basis.
But one thing you got to admit about cosplay is that every year there do tend to be a proliferation of the most popular characters. This year, Harley Quinn
oh
is
my
everywhere.
God! There was like
Wow.
about 20. I think.
And
I've
also-
seen.
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, it's
no.
great,
There's a lot of
actually.
wonderful
and,
Harley Quinn.
and from Game of Thrones, Daenerys Targaryen, the dragon queen.
Oh, I have to tell you something really funny about that.
She's everywhere.
Yeah, and so it was from a distance.
Big fan of the show, James?
Yeah. No. Listen. Game of Thrones. Look. It's great, and we're gonna do, I'm sure, a Game of Thrones episode and stuff. But I see this gal from a distance, and it has the long braid, and I look at James and go, "Oh, James, look! It's the character from Frozen. It's
Right.
like Anna and Elsa there." And then I get a little closer. I go, it's the gal from Game of Thrones. I felt so stupid.
That'd be
but-
a cool crossover.
Yeah. Anyway, I just thought it was kind of cool. So.
Well, the interesting thing about this show
This particular
show
we're trying something different.
is that we're going to do something a little different. We don't have really a guest,
No.
but we have many guests. We have invited many of our friends to come by and hang with us.
Well, because it's like people have asked to be on the show and stuff. So during our time here, we would say to people, "Hey, we're doing our show. This is where we're going to be. Come by anytime
Right.
after this." And so
Our doors are open.
Well, we're
Yeah.
having
Yeah.
a party.
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah, well, first of all, we have some people here in this room that we should introduce who
That's true.
are
Hot.
and
Lovely.
permanent fixtures in our lives.
Luscious.
They are the glue that holds us together.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, my wife, Carrie.
And my wife, Gina.
Gina Carey.
Hey!
Say hi.
Hi.
Hey.
Yeah.
And I just want to let you guys know, all those to you listening out there, these gals put up a spread. I mean, it looks great. I mean, food.
What?
Food.
What?
I mean, food.
First of all,
First, I'm gonna say hello.
Can my
Thanks
wife
for
say
the
hello
intro.
before you? Like, boy, they really couldn't cook. They know how to. They can brew a cup of coffee like it's nobody's business.
Gina wants to know why you're saying that she's spreading anything.
See?
Okay, you guys.
Now,
come on.
now the show has started.
No. It's
Ladies, bringing the salt.
We have, we'll post a picture We have like all kinds of snacks,
Yeah,
chips,
yeah.
chocolates, and M&Ms.
It's a really incredible spread, folks. There's several plastic dishes
but
with
Matt,
bugles,
that's what I meant-
chips,
that's what I meant by
and
spread.
malted milk balls.
love
yeah.
bugles.
Race to your Facebook accounts and check out the
The
pictures.
gals worked on it for hours.
We bake those Cheez-Its by
Yeah.
hand.
Do you know how hard it is to make a malted milk ball?
Well, it's like it's a party. We got all kinds of fun things. Fun snacks and drinks. And who knows what's going to happen? I mean, I'm drinking already.
knows?
Because I'm drinking quite
It's
a bit right
wild.
now. I know. Well,
Well, we're all drinking and we're all
Yes.
going to have fun. And you know what happens with shows like this. It kind of devolves into a drunken mess.
And then Matt starts to take off his shirt, and then it gets ugly.
Yeah, the pants come first. But yeah, I mean, we're just going to sit here and we're just going to wait to see if anyone, chooses to drop by. And if they do, it'd be lovely.
And if not, I have a lot to talk about.
yeah, okay.
Because-
no, I know.
I met a lot of.
Hey, what? Oh my God! I think we've got a guest right now. Holy crap! Oh my God! Folks, guess who's here?
Who is it?
It's my good buddy Chris Kaminsky.
Chris Kaminsky!
Movie producer Chris
Wow.
Kaminsky.
Have a seat, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, everybody.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Cool.
thanks for dropping by.
Hey, no problem.
Hey,
Oh,
what'd you
yeah.
think of that spread, though? Pretty good, huh?
Yeah,
That's really nice.
yeah. Go crazy.
Oh, hey.
yeah.
Yeah,
help
take
yourself.
some home.
Do you
Oh,
want?
I will.
No,
I'm
no,
wearing
no.
cargo shorts. I'm taking all of it.
Did someone get him a drink? Did someone get him a
Hey,
drink?
well, that's a really great idea for a party. Instead of
Get 'em a
bowls, instead of bowls for the snacks, we just put them all in some cargo pants, and a guy just walks around, and you take them out of his pockets.
No, because then how are you going to know what's in the pockets unless you reach in?
I
That's
guess
not-
I guess you got to make it a game.
Oh, that's a terrible. No. I don't like that at all.
wow!
But
you are so
Chris,
repressed.
did you get a drink? Do you have something to drink?
I'm good, yeah. I'm
Okay.
ready.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so how long have you been here at Comic-Con?
I've been here since Thursday morning.
Thursday. Is there anything that you were looking for? Anything you were checking out? You were looking for like
Stuff
a new
or things that you wanted to do, panels.
the Barbie figure. I mean, what were you?
How many Barbie figures did you get? Did you manage to get 4?
You can only get 3.
Because if you got 4, he'll kill you.
Yeah, because
Well, I know some people at Mattel. No, actually.
I hate people
I
like
wish
you.
you did.
No. So a couple years ago, there was something that I wanted to get at the Hasbro booth, and I remember I was there on Thursday afternoon, and they said they were all sold out for the day, and
Yes,
they said
for the
they had
day.
some more for Friday, and I'm like, oh great, what do I have to do? And she said, well, we're gonna start giving out vouchers for people to come and stand in line later in the day. We'll start doing that at 6 in the morning.
Wait, vouchers to stand in line.
Yes.
That does not guarantee you the toy.
No, it does guarantee you the.
Oh, okay. I was going to say
6 in the morning?
Oh, no. And I said, okay, well, that's great. And she said, yeah, but people will be lining up for that. So if you want to make sure that you get one, I'd recommend you get in line maybe 3:34.
Are you kidding?
I am not kidding.
You are kidding.
And my eyes got real big. I'm like, I don't need one that bad. I'll buy one on eBay later.
Chris,
It's
what was the
easy.
toy? What was it?
So it was actually the limited edition Magic cards that they had for that, and they were selling those.
You're a gamer, huh?
Wait, the
I
magic
am.
cards?
Oh, really?
The
Really?
magic cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Magic the Gathering.
Magic the Gathering?
Magic the Gathering.
It's a huge
He plays that. It's a
game.
big game,
Yeah.
Larry.
Yeah.
A lot of the kids love it.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
They
So what
do.
the kids like? Okay.
Film producers.
I forget.
Big with
no.
film producers.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Okay.
So those they sold. There was 5 cards that they sold, I think, for $80, and
Only 5 cards?
Gee.
There were special cards, right?
Yeah. They were Comic-Con exclusives, of course.
Right.
And they sold for about $350 on eBay the next day.
No way.
Yeah. I believe that.
You see, you don't buy them off eBay right away. You
Wait.
Oh, but not with Magic cards. Those hold their value.
Are you?
They're probably like $800 now for like 2
Are
years
you
ago.
kidding me?
Whoa.
No, what is it that's so specialized about
Do they
them?
give you a
What-
power that you can't get
Yeah,
anywhere
like-
else? Or
Does it come with a nice box or something?
Yes, actually, it does come
Tell
with
me.
a nice box.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
3 of them.
But
It comes in 3 boxes?
Yes.
Wait, or does each
3
card
boxes
come in-
inside 3 boxes.
No. Does the card come in individually in its own box, or is it 5 in one box?
No.
3
Well,
boxes.
I don't remember what they did 2 years ago. I looked at what they released this year, and it was 5 in one box.
Did you get cards this year, or is it old hat now and people aren't? You're done with
I
the
like my
cards.
sleep.
Yeah.
No, see, that's the thing is that I will, because a lot of times you walk around the hall and you'll see these various booths that maybe have jacked up the price a little bit. So it's like originally it was $50, so now it's maybe 70.
Or like Weberella, that was 25, and then some clown had it in his booth for 100. And now
Right,
has
that's
it
a
for
little extreme, but
150.
but almost you can almost say he did the work for you. Because for me, there's no way I'm getting up at 3 in the morning for anything.
Absolutely.
Right.
And there is something
A
to
fire,
be said.
I'll get up.
You're basically paying somebody $240
Right,
to
go get this for me.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you get to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Right.
there are days where that's totally worth it.
Time is money.
Okay.
Sleep is money.
Yes.
You know, I actually don't mind the exclusives. The thing that gets me about the exclusives, though, is I know we've talked about this before. I mean, if it's an exclusive to Comic-Con, make it an exclusive for Comic-Con and sell it at Comic-Con for the day, all 4 days. And I always hate this thing where you have vendors who go, well, like I'm sure there was some clown going to get those magic cards and he was in line, and you know what he did? You know what he did, Chris?
What did
he
he
didn't
do?
just buy one. He bought 7 of them because that's what the limit was. And then he took them over to his vending booth and put like $150 on each of those things. Those bastards. And it's like the people who really want the cards, the people who love and adore the cards, where the suckers? Where the guys, oh, I got to pay. It's like they're messing with you. They're ripping you off. And that's what pisses me off, you know?
Well, it's capitalism, man.
And that's
true.
exactly what I
Yeah.
was thinking.
I mean,
it is
price
capital.
gouging.
That's not just Comic-Con exclusives. That's anything.
Oh,
yeah.
Any kind of product
and
in
he
America.
did do the work.
You
He
wanna-
got in line. He
wanna-
got the voucher.
You want me to tell you something kind of funny, though?
right.
Okay, so my daughter who loves Monster High dolls, okay, right? Well, this year, they also had an exclusive, and it was $2. And you know what? Dolls didn't look that good. Didn't look that cool.
Take that.
Yeah, so you know what? Chris, do you think I bought them?
Did you?
I did not.
Good for you.
Yes. So take that, Mattel. Take that.
Sure, they are in trouble now.
Yeah. Next year, because of this,
yeah, sorry.
you've done some good in this world,
Well,
Larry Stroth.
I am saying that they have changed a little bit. You know, they have changed some stuff, which is how I got
But
mine.
I'll say this, for as much as this is a place for fanatics, there is a next level. And I think I saw something today that I had never seen before.
Oh, what was that?
You asked, what did I want to see? There was
Yeah.
a bunch of stuff that I wanted to see in Hall H, but again, not real big fan of lines. So
Oh, God, I refuse.
oh, I'm done with
I
panels
refuse.
forever.
As hard
Except
as-
for
yeah.
a certain lawyer that I know.
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll be coming by later.
Well, hopefully so. But I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But even beyond that, the thing that I had never seen before is I was wandering out by the harbor,
Yeah.
and I saw another line.
Yeah.
A line for getting in line for Hall H for tomorrow.
And
Yes,
Chris,
yes.
Chris, did you see they had like a tent structure? People had sleeping bags. They were sleeping this afternoon, like to spend the night.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
And
what?
was this the outdoor one you were talking
Yes.
about?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this was far, far away from the tents.
Oh, my
All the
God.
way
Right,
You got to be
behind the
really
hall.
dedicated.
Getting ready to go sleep
Yeah.
to get ready
So
to go.
what
for
was the
tomorrow.
event though? I mean, what was it like Bon Jovi out there or something? You know that people were like,
No,
or
it wasn't a line to a county fair.
you know what I mean? You know,
Pretty
like
sure the
some-
kids don't listen to Bon Jovi.
It was all.
like a Katy Perry, perhaps. You know,
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying?
It was
No, I
the
know exactly what you're
blowfish without Hootie.
Okay,
There were a couple of huge events that happened in Hall H, and I think they happened back to back. And one of them was the 30th anniversary of Aliens, and James Cameron was
Cameron's-
going to be there.
Sigourney
Walking
Weaver.
Dead, I think, right? Walking
Yeah.
Dead, the whole cast was here.
Yeah.
But Chris, you're right that I think there are people I think who simply go to Comic-Con only to see celebrity panels. Like that's what it's about. It's not about the dealer's room and anything.
they
else.
don't care about that stuff.
They travel from all over the world to see the cast of some TV show that they love.
But if you think about it, Sean, in a way, on one hand, it's like you and I, we wouldn't do it. But if you think about it, if you are from Australia and this is your opportunity to see the whole cast of The Walking Dead, they're on stage.
big deal, yeah.
I mean, I can
Yeah,
understand it's a big deal, but it's like the last time I slept in line was back in '83 for Return of the Jedi, and after that I decided never to do it again. But I've never I did it once, and maybe it's like something for the kids, maybe the young
Chris
kids
and I were
or
talking earlier today, and we were talking about how I guess if the line is also fun, it's not just about the goal; it's about the experience, and it's hanging out with a bunch of fellow fans.
It's like a
and you
party.
It's a party. You create
Hey.
a community. I don't know about the whole sleeping. Like anytime it goes into another day,
Yeah.
I think
really.
that's a big warning sign.
Yeah.
Isn't there always also like not a guarantee you're going to get in? No,
That's the thing that gets
Yeah,
me.
that would kill me.
Oh,
Like,
I would, or you would kill somebody else. Is
I
what
would
you
be very,
do.
very upset.
Yeah.
This is where it comes from Comic-Con being a very organic growth experience. Because since they don't clear out the rooms between panels,
Yeah, right.
if the only thing you want to see in Hall H happens at 6 p.m., you still have to spend the night to make sure
Right.
that you get in there, and then you have to sit through every other
You have to
panel.
see like the gem and the holograms panel.
Right.
You know what?
To see like Game of
That was a
Thrones.
good panel.
You know, even in the best of circumstances, if you get into Hall H, even if you're in the 5th row, you're still sitting far away enough from the table where the celebrities are that you still get a better view from staring on it on the big screen. So you might as well watch it on YouTube.
I'm with you. All panels, especially those big ticket panels, I am all for the next day. Watch them on YouTube.
I don't
Why
understand
even
why-
bother?
Yeah.
Now, the one thing, and I completely agree with you, and I watch most of mine on YouTube as well. The one thing is, it's the same thing as going to a theater on opening weekend. The crowd reactions to
Yeah,
yeah.
sure.
No,
All the
reveals and all
I
that
do
is an
like that,
experience.
Chris.
Some
I do-
energy there.
It's electric.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
But is it worth spending night?
Well,
Yeah.
I don't think it is.
no, and I mean, I think that one of the first times that James and I came, we went to a few panels and we had to stand in line, but maybe it was like an hour or an hour and a half. It wasn't that long. I know your wife, Sean, Gina stayed in.
Gina?
Gina,
Gina,
did you
who's here tonight?
Didn't you not?
In past years, there've been
In
a
past
couple,
years.
right?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
I've stood in line. I gave up on it too, and not only Hall H, but Ballroom 20.
What's the longest you've waited in line for a panel?
Probably about 3 hours.
3 hours. And what was that? What panel was that?
It
Was that the Buck Rogers panel?
It was no, it was actually the very first year of Game of Thrones.
Oh, wow.
They were
You
in
were ahead
Ballroom
of your
20.
time.
Yeah.
They were in Ballroom 20. They've
Yeah.
since moved to
Oh,
H.
yeah.
And I
You were
worked on
ahead of the
H.
curve.
You were ahead of the curve.
Yeah. So that was great, but I did have to sit through several panels ahead of it.
Oh my!
Yeah.
What were they? Do you remember?
Mythbusters?
That'd be a good one, though.
no,
That's
it
right.
was a good
Yeah,
one.
that would be great.
No, it was.
One of them was Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Oh, short-lived show.
Short-lived
A twin. She was like a twin.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I forget what it's called.
And
but
is
yeah.
it genre?
Yeah, it was kind of. It was like
was?
mystery.
Well,
like
it was mystery.
oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, she was twins.
Yeah.
God, I can't remember what.
yeah.
You know what,
our
Matt,
Fan,
it-
But I
fans
got a
are-
pretty cool
yeah.
stool from it. Anyway.
A stool?
Yeah, they gave
Yeah,
away,
a
they
little
usually give
collapsible
away
stool.
like T-shirts and stuff.
Oh.
Well, they had these little stools that would fold up and put into a bag, so you could like be wherever you wanted to be in the con. You'd actually open this thing up and sit down.
Wow,
That
that's
actually-
great.
that is-
That's a
yeah.
great thing for
So I
Comic-Con.
scored
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
That was great.
It was, and that was from the Sarah Michelle Gellar thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I
so-
remember that at the Game of Thrones one, they gave you the paperback, right?
Oh, it was there was a
That's
little
right.
backpack with the paperback book, a mouse pad, a map of the whole
The land.
world,
A doily.
Westeros.
It was yeah.
And a dagger to
codpiece.
murder one of your family members.
Now I know. Carrie is more of a she's more of a she likes to walk the halls. But did you ever do a panel discussion? Did you ever have to Did you ever stand in line to go see one of the panels at all?
I've gone to panels, but never if I had to stand in line.
What is your rule? Do you say if I have to be in there for 20 minutes, stand in line for 20
Well,
minutes?
if it
I'm-
were 20 minutes, I wanted to, I would, but that's just not the way it works
What's
at
the
all.
How long would you be willing to stand in line if you knew that it was some show that you really liked? You'd get a good seat, and
At
what
my
would be?
ripe old age of 29, how long would I stand
Yeah.
in line?
Yeah,
I'm
Like let's
You don't know?
what's
Yeah.
just like a hot thing that you like to watch? Like
I like Game of Thrones and
okay.
things like that. I just think that as you get a little bit older, the moon's not made of cheese, and I don't really care to be sitting in front of these human beings. I don't like.
I'm
it's
kinda
not-
with
not
you a
for
little
long
bit.
period of time. But what I don't understand, what you guys are saying, if you could explain it to me a little bit, they don't clean out the rooms. So you
No,
stay. Why
no.
wouldn't they do that if people stay all night so that people can get into what they want? Why wouldn't they do that? I don't understand.
that's a very good point.
But how could they enforce it? Because people would just say, "Wait a minute, I want to see both of these panels." That's all
Then
they
you
have to
say-
do.
Well, you have to go
How
to
can
the
you-
end of the line.
Yeah, that's right.
right.
You know what? In the years past, they did do that, but it was at the smaller rooms.
Uh-huh.
Think about clearing out Ballroom 20 and then getting a whole new fresh set of people in.
Oh,
It takes
you know what?
time.
It
Oh,
takes
it's the time. It's the
Hour.
schedule.
It would
No,
get ugly.
Gina's right.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
It's not fair, but
And then people are kind of dawdling, and they go, "Oh, I just want to get a picture of this." And
No,
it's like,
that
"Oh,
sucks.
No, well,
you're right." 20 minutes later, it's like, "Okay, now you're behind
They
schedule."
could just like release a gas and they all fall asleep. And then, yeah.
or yell fire. How about
and
that?
what would
Sean?
that gas sound like? It would be. Psst.
It's the scheduling. like
Little callback to an earlier episode.
if you wait,
There's a lot of gas releasing at Comic-Con.
Well, there's no problem
That's
there.
true.
No.
Yeah,
No.
I encountered some of that this time around
it's
too.
the
Yeah.
nature of the scheduling too, because if you wait all night online for something and you want to see a 9:30 panel and then you want to see like a 12:30 panel, there's no logical way to accommodate those people. You can't
Yeah, that's true.
kick them out at 10:30
Yeah.
and then find a way for them to come back at 12:30. The easiest thing is to just
Right.
let them sit there.
Because remember, we're talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of people. So
You-
it's-
It is a multitude of people. That's one of the things that you have to really experience, and it'll either freak you out and make you never want to come back,
Right.
or, like in my case, it's kind of astounding that there
yeah, it is. It's the greatest celebration of pop culture in the world.
Yes,
Period.
yeah.
Just real quick before we move on, the one thing I would say, because I've thought about this of how do you clear out the rooms and all of that, and it is very, very hard. But I think if you got a half a dozen engineers or Imagineers from Disneyland, they could tell you how to do it because they have worked with these exact problems.
It's all about quality, crowd
That's
control.
true.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
that's
get some
true. Right,
Disneyland
right.
people in there.
Well, it's going to be money involved.
You can
and,
make it. They can make an
and,
animatronic
I
Abe
think-
Lincoln to just stand there and tell them to leave.
That'll do it.
You know, that's actually a neat.
you
little
have been
thing, you know,
emancipated from this.
See, you guys laugh at that, but that was actually a really neat exhibit.
Oh, yeah,
you
no,
know,
it
the
was.
talking Lincoln.
I love
He's
that.
robot-
I
he's
love
robot.
that.
That was one
No,
of
it's
my
great.
earliest memories
Yeah.
of the park. Was that? Actually.
Yeah.
Now, Chris, do you come every year?
Most years, I'd say 3 out of 4 years I'm here.
Now, how hard do you find it to, number one, get a pass badge, and number two, to get a hotel? Like,
You
how-
obviously
do
were a
through that
celebrity,
whole-
so you were
No,
able to get your
but,
pass
Like,
for
do you
free.
have your people do that for you?
Get on the
How-
phone and
how does that work?
And you go, Bruckheimer, Kaminsky. I need a pass and I need it pronto.
So, well, I mean, I do,
Convention's tomorrow.
I do qualify for a professional pass, which means
Sure.
that that sells out in weeks instead of minutes.
Right.
So that's pretty easy. But the hotel is no easier. Like I have
It's
to deal
insane.
with
That's
the
true.
same ridiculous.
Where are you
Yeah,
guys staying,
yeah.
by the way?
You know, it's funny you should ask. Oh my God, did I get we got reamed on this one? Well, there was a look in truth. I
Finally?
wasn't. No. It's just I wasn't.
It's not the lies you tell us; it's the ones you tell yourself.
Look. I wasn't 100% sure that I'm coming down. You know, I got a lot of things going on. I got a lot of
You're a busy man.
I got a lot of logs in the fire, kind of a thing, and I
Laundry.
No, I just have a lot of
The
things.
attic.
Come on,
Oh,
come on.
man.
Look, I got a lot of things going on, and I wasn't sure if I was going to go. So James and I, we kind of.
Well, we had to wait because we
Yeah.
weren't sure where things were going to stand. And,
Yeah.
and by the time we were able to get a hotel, it was like in the boonies.
Yes.
It was still on the shuttle route, so it was still one of the Comic-Con hotels,
Yeah.
but it was one of the furthest ones out.
It's
Yeah.
in Tijuana.
It's not that far. No, it's in the Mission Valley area, which is, it's a very nice area.
It already
Out-
sounds very far away.
outside,
It does.
outside. It's
Anything with valley in it.
no,
you know?
no. Listen, here, this is really
It's
funny.
a mission just to get to downtown.
The first time that James and I came down to Comic-Con, I mean, we got a room across the street. Do you
It
remember?
used to be so easy.
Wait,
to
my
get a
wife
room.
and I would just drive down it for the day. Like we
Yeah.
park.
Yeah.
It was like a self-parking thing.
Yeah.
in
Oh,
the
I'll
gas
stay
lamp.
here.
Yeah.
And I'll just walk in.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like-
ridiculous.
And by the
can
way, we are right now recording from the Marriott.
Yes.
Well, this, yeah,
Right next to
this is actually Jeannie and I's hotel this year, but it was just literally just the luck of the draw. I mean, it's the way it works is you put in like I think 6 choices of what you want your hotel to be at Comic-Con, and you have no idea if you can even get those 6. And this was our first choice, right?
Okay,
Gina?
well, that's great. Yeah.
First priority.
But remember, this year it wasn't like speed, how fast you could do it. It was just you sit in a waiting room and you get a good number or a bad number.
Yeah, it's luck of the draw.
random.
Wait,
yeah.
wait, wait.
Which is-
yeah.
It's not when you say sit. It's like you go online.
You go online.
and they put you
in a waiting room.
You're in,
you're in this
yes, it's
waiting
a
in an
online
interweb-
waiting room.
Yes.
And then when
Interweb.
the time comes, you get a number.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
A number pops up, and that's
Yeah.
your line, your spot in the queue. And Sean, you were number what?
I was like, I can't remember. It was like number
12.
No, it was a pretty low number.
It was pretty low, like
yeah.
300 or something.
Yeah, 300 out of like
And I was doing this also, and
the
my
same
number was
time.
like 18,000 and something.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
right.
So I didn't get in forever.
But
Well,
again, this is an example where Comic-Con changes the rules because that was not how you got a hotel last year. It was slightly different. There was no waiting room thing. So it's always changing. So you can never kind of like anticipate it too well of how you're going to get it. But it was just pure luck. I mean, luckily, we got it this year.
You say that, Sean, but every freaking year, you and Gina, for some magical, mysterious reason, you guys always
because
get.
it's-
You're
it's
number one.
because they're
When I do it,
Yeah,
when
you
I
do,
do
but
it,
you have to be prepared.
Larry,
You have to
James
be-
and I, we
They're
get
waiting-
we
they're
out the
waiting for the-
booties. It was like,
You
hey,
call
it's-
it, look, you call it the interweb. You're clearly not prepared for any of this.
No, I'm
You're like,
prepared.
Yeah.
dialing in on your internet.
Oh, yeah. Okay, very
Larry,
funny.
it-
yes.
it-
I
used to
typed
be-
Marriott in the computer machine.
Is that two T's?
No, but it used to be about speed. It
Yeah.
was at 9 o'clock.
Right,
they would
right.
go on sale, and it was how fast you could fill out that form.
Right.
And I always did it from work. Where we have a really fast internet connection.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would do it really fast. Plus, I had a fast internet
You-
connection.
you-
That's how we
okay,
scored
you know
it.
what I should
now
do?
It
Okay,
was just luck.
How long have we known each other now? What, 18 years, 20 years
A
now?
lot of years.
Okay. You know what I should do? I should just have you get my hotel. That's what I should do.
Yeah.
no, but they don't
James,
do
what do
it
you
that
think?
way
I was
anymore.
thinking of that.
You know what? You know what we should have you do? You should just get all our hotels because you and Sean for some.
Gina, you're just
magic-
going to do all this.
Yeah, that's
for
what we're
us
gonna do.
next year.
Let's put her to work.
Hey, that's fun, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, well, the hotel thing is always a
There
little.
will be a service fee.
That's
Sure.
no problem.
Sure.
But I'll say,
What
for-
are you going to service her? What is that? What you're saying?
I would pay a fee.
Sure.
I don't know. Hey, come on, aren't we friends? Can't we just be like friends? Can I get
I'll
you
pay her
a
a
soda or
fee.
something?
I'd rather pay her a fee. I don't
worth it.
want that kind of favor just hanging over my head.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I can't be in debt to Gina. She's hard. But never mind that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's funny, but we are so popular. This podcast is so popular. I
Yes,
mean,
it is.
Once again, you never know who is just going to randomly show up at the door.
I mean, and we were thrilled to get Chris. you
yeah,
know?
I mean, Chris is great, but you never know when someone is just going to come. What? What?
What
Oh
the
my
hell?
gosh.
Oh my
Is that
God!
another one?
Another person at the door. Who could this be?
Oh my gosh.
Holy
my-
Christ!
Oh my God! It's a lawyer.
It's-
it's a lawyer
It's the Monster Party lawyer,
from last season.
Josh Gilliland.
Josh.
Gilliland! Yay!
Wow.
Stick around, Chris Kaminsky. We're not done with you yet.
No, Chris. It doesn't mean that you have to go. I mean, I would love you to stay, but we'll talk to Josh for a minute or two, and then we'll about actually.
Yeah,
he
no
did-
worries.
No,
I'm not
actually,
going anywhere.
wait a minute. You were on a panel.
I was on 2 panels.
Oh, wow.
Way.
Okay. No,
Josh,
so
I want to hear, Josh, like, how does it work from somebody who's on a panel at Comic-Con and what that all entails?
Oh, and before we do, you have a great podcast called
The Legal Geeks.
The Legal Geeks, and it's the legal angle to many of our favorite science fiction,
horror.
fantasy, and horror
Great stuff,
shows, films, etc.
Hypothetical legal questions.
All this great stuff.
For example, on your panel this year,
The first panel that we had, it was the legal issues in Star Trek, and we called
Star
it
Trek.
Star Trek, Where Lawyers Boldly Go.
Wow, catchy.
Yeah, we had.
welcome to the show, Josh.
It's
No, I didn't mean it like that. Come
Yeah.
Wow, I listened to you guys, and now I know how it feels.
Yeah.
I feel your pain.
Yeah.
No,
Enjoy your Monster Party ulcer.
Come on.
So we had one of the justices from the California Supreme Court, Mariano Florentino Cuellar, and he was
Big fan of him.
the justice was amazing.
Wait, you had real legal justices on there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Who else?
who
we
are
also-
who are fans, who are Star Trek fans and sci-fi fans.
Yeah,
right?
his favorite series was tied between Next Generation and Voyager. Favorite ship,
Voyager.
interesting.
Great show. Great show.
favorite ship was Voyager.
Don't knock it. It's a
and
my
great
no,
God.
I'm giving you what the justice said for what him.
This is what the
He
justice
better
said.
recuse himself from this convention.
favorite episode, Enemy Within.
Oh, yeah.
It was
yeah.
absolutely fascinating. We also had a former federal judge who's now Vice President and Deputy General Counsel of Litigation for Facebook.
Get out!
Wow.
I've heard
serious?
of Facebook.
Yes.
We're on it.
And stop calling me Shirley. We also had the lawyer who represented Facebook in their giant trial that was depicted in the Social Network.
Oh, okay. All right.
And then we had mortal attorneys.
All right, so-
and I fall into that
Okay,
category.
so you had a lot of attorneys. Okay,
And-
what were you doing?
You should also get one like accident attorney, just like one guy that's,
Well, he could qualify. He's an attorney. He could deal with
Why-
accidents.
What you?
So we also had others who did insurance defense, general business litigation. I do electronic discovery. And you know what?
What?
It was fantastic. We were able to cover being able to talk about the prime directive and how that is applied. And that was the justice's idea. Oh. We then got into fun issues such as we broke down court-martial.
Oh, I love that episode.
So-
Classic Star Trek.
So
William
when that-
Shatner.
Yes,
Captain
he was.
Kirk?
Yes, he was in the show.
So with
It's
that,
a great episode.
so
It is.
We covered all the legal.
William
episodes.
Shatner's in it.
We covered all the legal issues in it.
Yeah.
And then we also got into diversity in the practice of law, which as attorneys, we are mandated to take ethics classes in that.
Right.
Well, that episode aired in February of 1967. The panel that was brought together for the court-martial included, so there was an African-American Commodore.
That's right.
There was one white guy.
Yes.
There was an
Indian guy. There was an Indian guy.
Indian captain.
Yeah.
And someone who was not from Northern Europe.
Yes.
And first chair was a woman.
That's right. The prosecuting attorney was a woman.
Ilana Shaw. And
She had the hots for,
and we got into the ethical issues with you shouldn't be prosecuting your former boyfriend. That's
It's a biggie.
That's
Well-
what we call a no-no.
Yeah, but
Right.
it was
It's also
a
just
while
good
ago.
general
Wait a minute.
advice.
It was a while ago, though.
But it ended badly, so that's okay.
But no, Josh. But they hadn't been together for a while. Isn't that okay?
No,
conflict of
there's-
interest?
It is a giant conflict of interest, and
Really?
we explained that. But we also broke down the number of female attorneys that there were in 1967.
Yeah.
Which only 3% of attorneys in 1967 were women. Jump forward to Measure of the Man. That one was 89. That was something like 27% of
Okay.
attorneys were women.
Okay.
And a large part of that was because when Reagan appointed Justice O'Connor,
Yeah.
the first woman to the Supreme Court,
Yeah.
there was a spike in women applying to go to law school.
Interesting.
And so when you got to the episode of Rules of Engagement, and when you have Admiral Talara, who's the Vulcan female admiral,
oh yes.
All right. Okay.
we're at the over 30% mark.
Okay.
And so we broke all of that down. It was absolutely fantastic getting into whether or not Kirk could sentence Khan to City Alpha 5, because there are huge issues with that from
Yeah.
maritime law,
Yeah.
that you're basically looking back to 16th century British Royal Navy on whether or not a ship captain could say, hey, we're just going to drop people off on an island.
So wait a minute. Are you telling me that you actually are saying that they actually got things wrong in the episode? They were doing things in classic Star Trek that you couldn't actually do legally? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh.
I'm actually saying that
Again, now you've entered my world.
Come on. I'm not an attorney.
I've missed the whole point.
I'm not an attorney, Matt. I don't know these
No,
things.
no, that's
But
why we have him here.
That's
this,
what. Yes.
this is what we got into.
Yeah.
All kinds of fun. Rules of Engagement is probably the best actual hearing that they did in
Yeah.
any of it, and that was from Deep Space Nine with
Yeah.
Worf being extradited.
Oh,
Yes,
right,
that
right.
was a good episode.
Great
yeah.
episode. The only Star Trek trial episode that actually reaches a verdict
Yes.
is
yes.
the Enterprise episode Judgment.
Okay. Yes.
And the attorney who took lead on that, her name's she's an attorney up in San Jose. She's a rock star. She
Yeah.
basically wrote a 4-page memo breaking down all the issues. She could teach a trial advocacy in an ethics class. She wrote the cross-examination of Duras, and that was 4 slides long. We didn't
Really?
we didn't use all 4 slides because we'll just put that in a blog
Yeah,
post.
yeah.
But her analysis of how she would take apart Duras.
Yeah. Oh, wait. And Duras for James, because I know you're a Star Trek, fanatic. But
Yes.
Go ahead. Explain.
So this was one of the ancestors of the Duras that we would see that Worf would later kill, but that's not important right now. What is being able to break down, okay, so you have the superior ship.
Yeah,
You have
yeah.
superior training.
Yeah.
You view humans as inferior. The Enterprise didn't have the same firepower as you do, and you still lost.
Yes.
Just absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
So lots of great things. And the second panel
Yeah. Panel number 2
was Jimmy Olsen asked the tough questions on Kryptonian law. My brother...
Wait, Kryptonian law.
Yeah, so my brother has a...
Gabriel.
Gabriel Diani
Yeah.
has a parody blog called Boy of Rubber, in which he blogs as Jimmy Olsen.
No.
That's great
God,
Scotch.
I thought this was going in an entirely different direction.
Yeah, I actually thought so too.
So Gabe moderated the panel
Yeah.
as the Golden Age Jimmy Olsen.
Okay.
And so with the bow tie and
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
Jeepers, Great Caesar's Ghost, all that stuff.
That's great. I love that.
And we asked all the tough questions from season 1 of Supergirl, getting into whether or not the FAA would regulate Supergirl's flight in U.S. airspace.
Oh, that's a very
that's
good
a
point.
good one. That is a
Yes.
good-
Whether or not, if you're going to transmit a message of hope on a TV station, if you need an FCC license to do so.
I bet that's you'd have to.
Unless it's public access.
No. I think the flying thing. Don't you think the FAA would let her slide a little bit because she can go to a certain height or something?
Yeah, because she'll destroy them all if they ever complain.
No, Matt. They'd say when you jump up, you got to be at a certain height that go over the planes. And they could say,
Yeah.
look, can I
try
have
telling
your
that to
word?
a teenage superhuman?
So we actually reach a conclusion on what the FAA probably would do.
Yeah.
We also got into...
What's the conclusion?
Yeah.
So most likely not, because she doesn't have a machine that makes her fly. She's flying on her own.
Naturally.
Wait, so
right.
are you saying the FAA would deny her flying? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Oh, gee, sorry, Supergirl. You can't
Actually,
fly
the
and save
exact
people.
Opposite, Larry.
Okay.
Because since she's naturally flying on her own, the law doesn't speak to that. And
Right. We're talking
therefore-
about vehicles.
Out of, right,
She's,
out of their
she's not an
domain.
aircraft.
Okay.
She's not a helicopter.
Okay, Mr. Attorney. Let
She's
me
not
ask-
a drone.
Fine. Then let me ask you this just really quickly because you brought up a really interesting. What about Wonder Woman and her invisible plane?
That would be a absolute hazard to navigation. Because
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, because it's plane flying along, and she better be on the lookout, or else, boom, and that would be bad.
Now wait a minute.
Well, also too, you're on Southwest, and
Yeah.
you're looking out the window, and here comes this squatting lady flying to the sky.
Because the plane is invisible, but she's not invisible.
And that's a serious design flaw.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
how
yeah,
does she
true.
see the instrumentation?
That's true, yeah.
I mean, just
Oh, I
from
didn't
the-
actually think about. Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure she senses. She senses where
What?
which stick to pull and stuff. And
What?
button to press.
I don't like it.
Well, come on. What is it? A little.
It was all kinds of good stuff.
Okay.
Got into how the DEO probably would be legal for exclusive jurisdiction to regulate aliens from outer space, because under the Constitution, it's exclusive federal jurisdiction for regulating aliens. Now, granted, the Constitution uses the word alien,
Yes.
and as does the INS code,
Okay.
for people coming into the United States,
Right.
not people from other planets.
What if-
However, we think it would be okay.
It would apply.
It would
Sure,
apply.
sure.
But however, when General Lane comes into town with the army and has the army start doing law enforcement,
Yeah.
that would violate posse comitatus, because we don't want the army
sounds-
doing
Kind of.
What's that called again?
posse comitatus. So the reason we
Nice.
have this,
My van was named that at one point.
so what happened is, in the 1860s, there was the Civil War that we had.
Yeah,
and
I know
maybe-
the Civil War. I'm not an idiot. Come on.
So we started using.
So yeah, that was when Captain America.
No, come on.
the other one.
You don't have to say it like I'm an idiot. Come on. Okay, Civil War, go.
So in the 1870s, we start using the army to put down railroad strikers, and yeah, and so there was a giant one.
Okay.
And people were not cool with this because
right.
now the army's shooting people on strike.
Yeah.
And we passed a law saying, hey, we can't have the military do law enforcement anymore.
Mm-hmm.
The only exclusion to that is the Coast Guard for doing drug interdictions. And so the Coast Guard's the only branch of the military that does law enforcement. And so naval vessels actually have Coast Guard officers on board. So if a naval vessel goes out and stops a boat that has drugs on it, they run up a Coast Guard flag, and the aircraft carrier is temporarily under command by the Coast Guard. They do the drug mission, bring the bad guys on board, flag comes down, and it's back to a naval warship.
And this is a sample of the legal geeks.
This is how
This
I
is
roll.
what it's all about.
This is what
all
I
that
live for.
legalese and
No, this
stuff.
is fascinating.
It is.
Now,
No, Chris,
Josh,
isn't it? Is it?
Josh, we had you on our Comic-Con episode last year, and that was your first panel for
Yes.
Legal Geeks Comic-Con. And now you did 2 panels. They were both like, you had a packed house.
So
Were you in Hall H? Is that what
no,
they did?
we were first one. We were in 24 ABC.
Okay.
and we had about 400 people in there.
Wow, that's great.
And about 150 to 200 attorneys, including one of them who came up, a lady wearing a Darth Vader dress. She's a state court judge in Compton. Her entire chambers are decked out with superhero stuff.
That's so hot.
Wait, and she was dressed up as Darth Vader?
She had on
Isn't that a little
an
wrong?
awesome little Darth Vader dress. And it was like hardcore geek.
Yeah.
And so there are a lot of lawyers who are geeks.
Yeah, but it was Darth Vader, Josh.
She's a geek, and she wants
She was role playing.
Yes.
Right.
Up next, after that, we were at 8 o'clock on Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay, and that one was painful because there were a lot of popular things going on, like Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
Yeah.
So that one probably only had like 30, 40 people. And so...
Hey, man, you had
a good role.
Yeah,
Yeah, come
Yeah,
on.
good run.
No,
you
no.
had a panel, man.
We had 2. I'm eternally grateful. There are people who dream of doing this. And we got to do it twice, and I got to have one of the Supreme Court justices from the state of California talk about Star Trek. He wore the yellow command shirt.
Yeah.
It's just...
That's awesome.
That's great.
you
That's
know,
great.
So anyway, it was fantastic. And now
So this will be like an annual thing with you.
we'll keep applying. Hopefully they'll keep accepting.
Yeah.
And so, we're here because, do you know the story of how Comic-Con started? So Mike Talry, who was 14 at the time, he runs San Diego Comic Fest.
Okay.
He and a few buddies, they sold comics. They had their little comic club.
Sure.
A guy from Detroit moves out, and he's in his 30s. He's also doing the same thing. They start talking. They're like, hey, other places are doing a con. We should do one too. The guy from Detroit had a contact to Jack Kirby, who had then moved to L.A.
Okay.
So they call up Kirby.
Yeah.
Kirby says, come on up. And you have these kids, moms drive them up. They go up to L.A. Mrs. Kirby makes them hamburgers, and they brainstorm about having their first con.
Okay.
And they're like, okay, let's go for it. And they say, like, hey, Mr. Kirby, should we also do sci-fi stuff? And he says, yes, because geeks like comics, they like sci-fi. So Kirby was the first guest of honor for comics.
Interesting.
Well, perfect.
They saw Ray Bradbury speak.
Yeah.
And they invited him to be the sci-fi guest of honor.
Okay.
And he went, well, my speaking fee is $5,000. And one of the kids, teenager, said, but sir, we're a nonprofit.
But shouldn't it be more like, but sir, we're a nonprofit?
Yes.
It depends how old of the teen.
Okay,
That's not
all right.
important right now.
Okay.
And he said, like, well, then I'll waive my speaking fee.
Okay.
And the first Comic-Con, so they did a test in March.
Yeah.
And that was a wild success.
Yes.
And then they did the summer one, and it was huge.
Yeah.
And here we are
Now-
in 2006.
Now, didn't also Forey Ackerman from Famous Monsters? My understanding is he came to the very first Comic-Con.
Yes, and at Comic Fest, they did a wonderful tribute to Forey.
Yeah.
And I saw Phil Kim
Yeah.
at Comic Fest. There was a great panel. They had one of the authors from Logan's Run on that panel. It was an absolutely awesome panel honoring Famous Monsters magazine and Forey. And Mike and Wendy sent me a thank you gift because at that con we did the mock trial of the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And he sent me a Robinson Crusoe on Mars poster.
I love it. Wait.
movie.
What, is it a one sheet?
Yeah.
It's a one sheet.
I believe so.
There you go.
Wait. Is it? Well, you say you believe so. Is
I-
it the 41 by 27?
No, not that. It's
It's not. Oh, it's a half sheet.
half.
Well, this is
I
great.
see. Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah, let's get into a conversation on dimensions.
No, because what he's talking about. Look, what he's talking about is first of all, I love that movie because it's 1964. It's the year I was born. Robinson Crusoe on Mars. I have that one sheet, and I love that movie. But you have a half sheet.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
so
Well, it's funny that we were bringing up Famous Monsters of Filmland, one of our favorite magazines. Aside
Oh
from
my
Fangoria,
gosh.
of course.
Well, we all. I mean,
Yes,
yeah.
but we love them. They're like brother sister.
Yes.
And it's so incredible because
Well, you know-
who's at this convention?
Who?
A past guest, friend of the show.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes, the executive editor of Famous Monsters of Filmland. David Weiner was here at the convention.
Wait, he was here.
Now
No.
I can only hope.
Yeah, no.
That maybe
I hope he
we
shows up.
invited him to come by,
it'd
but
be great if he
he's
just, like,
he's busy.
He's a really busy guy.
Very, very important.
He's got a lot of like
He's
late
got a
night
lot
parties
of
to go
irons
to.
in the fire.
Yes,
he got a lot.
does.
He's kind of the life of every party.
He really is.
And so
What's that?
Who's that? Who?
Somebody's
Wait
at
a
the
minute.
door.
Could that
Who
be
is
at the
it?
door?
Who is it? Let's open
What?
the door.
Oh my God!
It's
David Weiner!
Speak of the devil.
Monster party!
Wow, that is amazing.
Hey guys.
like,
Man,
wow.
it's like
David,
the
welcome.
coincidences just keep
How is that
crazy.
possible?
It was a
Crazy.
thrill to
I was
see
completely
you.
lost. Where's the tiki bar?
You've entered it, my
No,
friend.
look. I know maybe you can only stay for a couple minutes, but look, I just want to.
No, he's going to stay longer. Don't tell him how long he can
I just want
stay.
to tell you.
When do you guys have to check out of the room?
That's what I'm talking about.
Look, you did a wonderful panel discussion today on Forey Ackerman.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was great. You moderated. I want to compliment you. It was an amazing job. You had it.
you.
First of all, look, you had too many guests up there, but still.
Wow,
you had a
already
lot-
notes.
No,
Isn't that weird?
No, you had a
I
lot
wanna
of.
hear it.
You had
What the
a lot
hell is wrong with you?
Because look,
Larry,
look,
every one of those guests had something good to say. Something
well,
interesting
some of
to
them were
say.
long-winded. I just
No.
get.
Oh,
come on, yeah,
Really?
It moved along.
Really?
David,
Tell us the Weberella story again.
David
Hey,
moderated it and kept it moving
Yes.
along very briskly.
That's what, David, you did a wonderful job, and it was a great panel discussion.
Thank
It
you.
was.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, it was Forey Ackerman's. This year marks his centennial. In November, he will have turned 100 years
Yeah.
old had he been around.
Yeah.
And we thought how best to honor him. And Comic-Con was very, very generous to give us a sizable room to talk about Forey.
And
we
it
decided-
filled up.
awesome.
It
Yeah,
filled
It
up.
really did.
Yeah.
And yeah. So we were going to have 11 people on the panel, and then I thought, well, if we put Larry on, it's one too many.
It's funny you should say that because there was a moment. No, really quickly. So, David, for our listeners, David does this thing. So how many out there, had a subscription to Famous Monsters? So I raised my hand. A bunch of other people. He goes, oh, how many of you were part of the Famous Monsters fan club? Well, I couldn't get my mom to spend the money. But I'm waiting for you to say how many of you sent a letter. And I'm like, I didn't send a letter, but I'm waiting for you to say how many of you got your picture in the magazine.
Well, I thought that was the same thing,
No,
no?
it is not. No, it's not.
I mean, clearly not.
You need to say.
But I thought kind of if you're doing Fang Mail and you get your picture in there, perhaps maybe one begets the other.
I just no,
Like,
my
clearly
mom.
not.
No, you had to say is there anyone in the audience who is Larry Strothe who has a very unique situation that happened with Famous Monsters?
I'm in an issue that meant a lot to me, and I was waiting for you to say. So, how many of you have your pictures? And
There should have been a welcome back Cotter moment where you went ooh 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 ooh.
David, you did such a beautiful
Horseshock.
job. No, you were so eloquent. You were really great, very professional. You were moving those people along, and I didn't want to do something like that. So,
Thank you.
Although when I talked about the fan club, there were crickets, and I was a little bit surprised about that.
It's because, first of all, you had to pay a fee, and you got something. You got the card, you got the button and stuff, but it's
There's
like...
a little like a scroll or something.
Did you get one?
No, I wasn't in it.
Hey,
either.
man, it was
Neither
enough.
did I.
Look, to talk to
I
my
already
parents...
spent my money on the Steve Austin fan club, so
There
we
you
can
go.
talk about
which was
Wow.
actually free, but that's okay.
Did you ever get the figure?
Of course I did.
Yeah,
Of course I did.
the big guy.
I got it for less than it should have been. I got it on discount because it was missing an eye.
Wait a minute, it was missing an eye? Wait a minute, no. Because it has a design flaw. It has that the toy had a design flaw. I mean, I'm sure we all know.
No, this is a great story, everybody.
No, really, look. And listen.
I love design flaw stories. Go. No, do it.
In 20 seconds.
Okay.
As we all know, that great toy had a plastic eye, and then there was another eye, like it's like a periscope. Like
Well,
you
you
could
look through a
see
hole in the back of his head.
And the problem was when Steve Austin looks in the distance, things look closer. If you look through the back of his head, if you had something like 6 inches in front of you, it didn't look like it was an inch in front. It looked like it was like a million.
farther. It
It
looked
was
like
just
it was farther.
stupid. That's stupid.
You know what? You know what? It would have been all blurry if it was a magnifying glass. You wouldn't be able to see anything.
Oh, so what,
Is
David?
that a design
So
flaw?
you
Yes,
want-
it
or
is.
is that
Yes.
genius by Kenner?
Yeah.
No,
Do you
no.
want? So you're expecting Kenner to give you a prescription eye in your
Per kid.
Steve Austin
my Steve
doll?
Austin doll came with bifocals, and I never understood why.
Okay. I was very irritated about it.
Since
I
we're
had an
talking
issue
about this, and maybe I dropped it in, but it was really unconscious, a subconscious thing. But I had an opportunity yesterday to talk to and meet Lee Majors.
No way.
Yeah, it was definitely. a
Wait a
cool
minute.
thing.
There was a picture. You did. There's a picture.
Yeah,
You did-
I put the picture on Facebook.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Because I believe he's going to be in the new season of Ash versus Evil Dead. Is
That
that
is
right?
correct. He's in
Oh,
the
I
second season.
love that
Awesome.
show.
He
Nice.
plays Ash's dad.
Oh, perfect.
That's awesome.
So wait, you interviewed Steve Austin for
I
Famous
did.
Monsters?
I did.
Oh
I
my
did.
God.
Yeah, he has a
Well,
magazine.
actually,
Yeah, I'm not an idiot. I know.
I actually interviewed Lee Majors.
That's not
He's
Steve
not
Austin.
Steve Austin.
Good guy.
Lee Majors.
Stone Cold
Yeah.
Steve Austin. Just
Let me-
Yeah, this is-
Okay.
Larry's
all
David,
right,
so
all
particular.
right.
David, this is going to be rough.
Okay.
It's like telling a kid there's no Santa.
No.
Listen.
Come on. I know.
Okay.
Look, we're all drinking.
These stories are just stories.
Look,
They're not.
we're drinking. You know,
They didn't cut off
look,
Lee Major's legs.
Hey, he just got here. He hasn't started to drink yet. You know.
He's
Dave,
catching up.
Dave, I want to ask you though. How many years have you been going regularly to Comic-Con?
Not a long time. I've kind of lost count. Probably about 5 years.
Oh.
Is there
okay.
anything in particular this year that you is different, or has changed, better, or worse?
It seems like the attendance is down a little bit.
It does, doesn't it?
Intentionally,
Yeah.
and I think that's a good thing because Comic-Con,
yeah.
even in the previous year, it was down a little lower.
Yeah.
I want to say maybe 2 or 3 years ago, it was at its peak maximum
Right,
saturation.
it was just suffocating.
Oh,
the
yeah,
crowd.
it was horrible.
Hey.
Right,
It was
right.
horrible.
I cosplayed as a fire marshal just to get people out.
Genius.
That's a great idea.
But you're right, though. Have noticed that too this year. That it's a little. I mean, it's always going to be crowded, but it's a little more comfortable walking through the aisles. this time.
Semi-breathable.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Well, it's not breathable unless that guy with the latex and the sweat walks by.
Oh
Yes,
no,
yes,
yeah,
of course.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
case by case.
But we're if he does and he walks by, he's a little, come on. This is the one time when that guy can walk by, and we can all be behind him and saying, "Yay,
Don't be
you-
behind him.
you wear that spandex, and I'm behind you. Well, I'm next to you 100%. You know what I mean?
Actually, one of my favorite pastimes of Comic-Con is taking cosplayers in casual positions. So whether it's Batman looking at his phone, or,
right.
or an alien xenomorph missing his head, washing his hands in the bathroom.
That's nice.
Or,
Yeah.
Now I
or
just-
Darth Maul and his pal hanging out eating a pizza. These are my ultimate.
That's great.
favorite
Yeah, that's
Now,
great.
Look, the last
Only
time
at Comic-Con.
Last time you were on our show, look, there was a little issue when I was a little irritated about the multiple covers and stuff.
Are
But
you talking
I
about when you kept on calling me Mr. Entertainment Tonight?
Oh well, I look.
Not that I remember or forgot.
No. Okay, you got
Oh,
me. I'm
thank
sorry.
God you're here.
But I will say this. There's a beautiful cover. I'm being a big Godzilla fan. You have this for the current issue, Godzilla and King Kong.
Bob Eccleston.
But yes, it's
Fantastic.
gorgeous. But you have in light of Forey Ackerman's 100th birthday,
Yes.
there is a gorgeous cover.
Like variant
Yeah.
cover, right?
Yeah.
Variant, right.
Comic-Con exclusive,
Comic-Con
right?
exclusive
And-
cover
yeah, and
of,
I have
of
to-
Forrest J. Ackerman.
Yeah, and I have to tell you, I feel a little stupid because when I came by on Thursday and I came to see you, you weren't there. You were out gallivanting, doing your thing.
Gallivanting. You were gallivanting, David.
No, I had a
Comic-Con
no.
is the
But we had a lovely discussion with Dominique.
Dominique,
who was,
yes.
Dominique,
Yes.
who
He's
was
lovely.
lovely. And so I got this great deal. I got multiple issues, because I wanted to.
We know you have multiple
Yes,
issues.
yes. No, yeah, yes. Well, yeah,
Well, that's our show.
Come on.
We could go on and on.
Come on. No. Listen. Forey Ackerman was on the cover. It was a great cover. I got that. I got the King Kong, Godzilla, and the Forey Ackerman. And I was so thrilled to get them. And I got them. I go, oh, this is great. And I put them in my bag. And I'm like, hey, I got these. And it wasn't until
gallivanted
today.
away.
Gallivanted
It
down.
wasn't until today. No, hey, I'm getting to a point.
I know.
I'm getting
Okay,
to, if
go
you
ahead.
shut up for a second.
And before you get to your point, I did this strategically. I had such a wonderful time on your podcast as being a guest that it was very important for me to spread the word of Monster Party. And so I didn't want to tell you that I was doing that.
Yes.
So what did you discover?
So to our listeners out there, so here I have these issues in my freaking hand. Do I bother to go through and page them? No, because I wasn't wearing my white
You don't
gloves.
read them because you immediately put them in Mylar.
Well, no. At first, I looked through them, but I didn't. My hands. I'm out.
soiled
Right,
them.
sure,
there's- soiled. Yeah. So I put them in my bag, and it wasn't until so I go to this beautiful, wonderful. A panel discussion, and there's David, and I go up to him before, hey, David, hey. And he says, so, did you see the issue? And I went, well, I got it. I haven't paged it. And then he takes the issue, he whips it out, and starts paging to page, 5 or something? And there, It's a picture of us.
It's us.
I was
yeah.
gonna say me.
Yeah, you
but-
almost. I know you
Picture
did.
of us with Monster Party, and there's the great thing.
It's like
he shows it to
a
me.
little write-up of us.
I am in the Famous Monsters 4 Ackerman panel discussion where the editor of Famous Monsters is showing me this issue.
That's right.
And here it is in the Comic-Con exclusive with Fori Ackerman
all
on it.
come full circle.
I nearly pissed myself. I mean, I was like so thrilled.
Nearly.
I did it purposefully just to see you respond like
Well,
this.
so Dave, I'm just saying thank you.
thank you
That was
so much.
absolutely
No, we really
thrilled.
did.
It's awesome.
And we'll have you back eventually. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
Well, you're not doing entertainment tonight, you know.
We'll do it again.
No, you were great. I mean, like, and
although I will say this, just one little.
Can I say something to him?
Yes, of course.
I'm also happy to be in the issue.
That's right.
Yeah,
I'm
me
very
too.
proud.
It's your-
I
it's
think
your
it was
show.
really a wonderful thing, and it's like a dream come true for a monster
It really
kid.
is.
It
Yeah.
really
It's the
is.
greatest gift ever.
for all of us.
But
Because-
yeah, I mean, aside from that, though, I mean, the fact that when we had you as a guest,
Yeah.
again, there are certain guests that we like, but there are certain guests where they come in and it's like, oh, one of the family.
Yeah.
Right. A fifth member.
Yeah.
Although,
Yeah.
although sometimes
Thank you.
I mean,
Thank you very much.
for our listeners, if you go back to that show and listen to that show, which was.
It was with David
Game Changers.
Weiner.
Yeah, it was Game Changers. Game Changers. You know, when we were talking about the creature, you know, and you brought the whole thing about the creature when he has the fedora in that third movie. I'm like, why?
Why you're not letting
Isn't it
that
great?
go?
He likes
No,
that.
Wow.
I just. Because
Yeah.
I'm sure it was
You
the
never
boo.
let me actually finish my question. I didn't. I did bring up the fedora because I thought he had a fedora. But the question ultimately was the creature's look evolves, and if you look at the third film, he's got a very different
Which
look.
is true.
Creature walks
And he's
among us.
wearing
Right, yeah.
clothes.
Yeah, that's right.
That
He has
is
lungs
true.
now.
You just jumped on that fedora and you said that's Uncle Gilbert.
No,
From the Monsters.
No, well, because I helped you.
Anyway,
I helped
we
you.
moved on. We moved
Yes.
on.
Yeah,
I
luckily,
well,
luckily
you moved
we've
on.
all moved on now. Yes.
Meanwhile,
Why
he's
did I come
writing
back
an
here? I'm
angry
not quite
journal
sure.
called It's Uncle Gilbert.
Well, we could go on and on.
Yeah, and we will.
No, but look, we were thrilled to be a part of Famous Monsters.
Yeah, it was the
just-
greatest thing
yeah.
ever.
Thank
Yeah.
And
you.
in hindsight, it's better that Larry hadn't noticed it in the issue because no, it's better that the reveal came from you personally
Yeah.
this morning
Yeah.
at the panel.
That's true. Yeah,
That's
no,
glorious.
that's pretty awesome at
Perfect.
Comic-Con.
Doesn't
yeah,
that make you feel better?
That's awesome.
Well, you know what makes me feel better is that it's my pleasure to put you in the magazine in the first place because I wouldn't have put you guys there if I didn't think you guys were great. And and I wouldn't have put you in there if I didn't want to share what's so fun about this podcast with the readers of Famous Monsters. So you
Hey.
guys,
So much.
David,
Thank you so much.
it's not because you gave me Thai food the night I came.
Every guest gets a meal, by the way.
Free
right.
booze.
Hey, let's
Yeah.
cheers to that.
Yay.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, David. That's awesome.
David, you know what? David, go run yourself a bath. You've earned it.
Now, if I
Well, you guys promised me a masseuse at this podcast.
no, I know. I did. Did it? Who else? Did anyone else talk to him? I didn't say anything about a masseuse, but I do want to
Yeah.
say no.
No, my wife's volunteering.
Oh my god. Okay, to our listeners.
Oh, the
our
wives.
chicks. The chicks are
Both
like rubbing
the chicks.
him. Yes.
Both of our
chicks.
wives are on David Weiner, and I would have it no other way. It's a Comic-Con, goddammit.
Now, David, I do
right.
want to ask something, okay? Because I'm always excited to see Famous Monsters at Comic-Con, but I think you guys have something else coming up, right?
Yes, we do.
Uh-huh.
We do. We are talking about. Well, we've got two things. We have a thing called Alien Con.
Alien.
Oh, yes.
Con.
Yeah.
Alien Con.
Halloween weekend up in Silicon Valley. We are doing Alien Con.
Okay.
Awesome.
And if you are a fan of Ancient Aliens,
Who isn't?
Come on.
Well, Ancient Aliens?
and
Yeah.
we're partnering with A&E and
Okay.
History for a ultimate party and convention
Okay.
that weekend.
Okay.
So it's
Chariots of the Gods, right?
Of course, Chariots of
Yeah.
Gods.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
It's a combo thing. Basically, it's hinging on Ancient Aliens, but it's a sort of a pop culture extravaganza where we're going to have a lot of amazing guests.
Okay.
Everyone from cast members from Lost in Space,
Ooh,
Land of
nice.
the Lost, Farscape, Battlestar Galactica, three generations of Godzilla suit actors.
Nice. Oh, I guess.
a bunch of the Alien and Aliens cast. Alien, we've got Tom Skerritt, and we've got Robert Cartwright. Aliens, we've got Carrie Henn and a bunch of the Colonial Marines coming.
That's
and
really
on
cool.
and on and on and on.
Yeah.
And, of course, Giorgio from Ancient Aliens. And it's
Awesome.
also an excuse to have a very, very big party. And we are celebrating Forey Ackerman's centennial with a kickoff party on that Friday night with a giant Halloween bash.
man.
And Rob Zombie guitarist John Five will be performing.
Wow.
So we thought we
awesome.
might be able to put something fun
Okay,
together.
this sounds great, but I just
we
want to
are
ask
so
one.
there.
I just want to ask one question though. I mean, because you mentioned Ancient Aliens, but what if I brought like an ET, like little, you know?
Oh, you know
is
what?
that okay?
You know, Dee Wallace is going to be there.
There you go.
Why are you pointing at me? You've done everything you can to stop Dee Wallace, but she keeps going.
Because some people here aren't really the biggest fans of ET.
I am actually just want to let everyone know, if you
Yes.
haven't listened to the Monster Party podcast,
Yeah.
everyone in Monster Party loves ET so much. Wait, am I right or am I
Listen,
wrong?
Oh, my God.
Listen, if I don't
Turn
want
on your heart lights.
Yeah.
Man,
I don't want to.
you know what?
Yes, and Neil Diamond is coming in to sing.
And let me tell you something about Neil Diamond, though, really quickly, because first of all, Neil Diamond.
Save it for our Neil Diamond episode.
You know, look, we all joke about that song and stuff like that, but
We do?
at that time, well, I know you're like Mr. You prankster.
I was
you-
joking about that just the other day, wasn't I, Kelly?
I'm just saying it was a very popular song at that time because E.T.
Sure.
was really big, and I know it's a little dated now, but still, Neil Diamond's a very talented individual, and that is kind of a catchy tune.
Well, there you go.
Well, as you know, I love E.T.
Yes.
And I had shingles a few years back, and all I did for like 2.5 months was just go, ouch.
All right.
So you spoke like Deborah Winger.
Yeah. Okay. I have a lot of like ET toys and stuff like that. So I can,
Yo, let's hear about it.
no.
Okay.
Hey, man, I'm really excited about the Ancient Alien things. And
Yeah, and we're absolutely,
Yeah, that
we're
sounds
all
awesome.
going to be
It's
there.
It's going to be a great way
Yeah,
to spend Halloween.
I'll say.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much. It would be very, very cool if as many people can go, then go to thealiencon.com to check it out, and
Awesome.
famousmonsters.com to figure out more about famous monsters.
Awesome.
Cool.
Well, it has been such a thrill. I mean, we have
Yeah.
had all
This
these
is
great
so
guests.
great.
We had David Weiner from
Yeah.
Famous Monsters of Filmland.
Yeah, we're just so
and
thrilled.
one of the things that I really enjoy, I think we can all agree about this, is that Famous Monsters of Filmland have had through the years the most amazing covers.
the
artwork.
Yes.
I love that they're
Basil
still.
Gogas.
I love that they're still doing like original artwork and not just like photos.
photograph.
or-
Oh, I
Yeah,
hate
so
it.
great.
I hate when
I
they
hate
just
that
do
too.
a photograph.
Yeah.
The paintings that they have, and like the one I just mentioned about the Forey picture or the King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah,
they're
it's-
beautiful.
Beautiful.
They really are
It's like the old
attention
school
grabbing.
Basil Gogos
Yeah.
illustrations. Not like they kind of in the 80s they did sort of go into the photos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad they're back to the traditional
Yeah.
artwork.
Me too. And I mean, I really just enjoy horror artwork and horror designs. And it reminds me of the time remember when we had Mark Tavares on the show?
Yes.
See the guy that brought
Yeah.
the bat head?
He brought all,
artist,
he
special
did all
effects
these
thing.
special effects and artwork.
that's right.
Don Post Mask.
Did
Do
he
you
bring-
remember that?
Did he bring the puppet thing?
He brought the
Yeah.
puppet.
Yeah,
Yes.
He brought,
Yes.
Super Adventure Team, the show that
he
I
brought
was on.
Steven Seagal's head.
Steven Seagal's head.
What episode was that? That was.
I don't have them
That was
memorized
like
by number.
Was that How to Make a Monster or something?
I think it
like
was.
that?
I think it was How to
Yeah,
Make a Monster.
yeah.
It
That was,
was.
Yeah.
that was a good. Mark was a great guy on
Whatever
that show.
happened to him?
I don't know. I wonder.
What? Well,
Who could that be?
Who was that at
Who's
the door?
that?
that's who was at the door.
Who was that?
Whoa!
Oh my God!
Oh my God, Mark!
Wow.
We were just talking
Mark
about you.
Tavares.
Really? Hi, guys.
What a coincidence.
Oh my God, this is getting
Amazing.
creepy.
Yeah, it's just-
I think
it's
we're
uncanny.
cursed with happiness.
Yes. Mark, welcome.
God.
It's so good to
Thank
see
you.
you.
Thank you. It's great to see you guys. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks
Yeah.
for coming.
So how's your Comic-Con going?
It's been fantastic. We've been having a great time.
Yeah.
Cool.
What are some highlights for you?
Ooh, well, let's see. I did not get to go to the Forey Centennial.
It was great.
Well, I didn't either.
This is what I understand. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
Yes,
it was. It was
incredible.
fantastic.
Yes,
Yeah.
you
It was
know.
great. I missed it because I mean, I guess I could have gone. We could have gone, but we were up very late the night before.
Why? What happened?
What happened is that we're out on our balcony.
Yeah. Wait,
And
your wife and you.
My wife and
Yeah,
I
'cause
were
I-
out on the balcony, And we got a beautiful view from our hotel room.
San Diego.
Yeah,
right?
Sheridan, Marina Bay.
Oh, yeah.
And, we're imbibing a little bit, And
What?
Imbibing. I have
Having a cocktail?
well, the cocktail,
Word of
some other substances.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, we slammed the door on the...
I wouldn't say we slammed it.
Well, we
just
shut the
closed
door.
it,
We
yeah.
closed
Okay.
the door.
Okay.
I added slam because I thought it would make the story better.
Okay.
I argue that it's
Yeah.
better that we
If there was-
we sweetly closed it ever
We
so gently.
we lovingly gazed into each other's eyes,
Yeah.
recommitted to our marriage, and closed the sliding
Speak
door.
for yourself.
Whoa.
Oh,
man.
welcome to my world. Welcome to my world. Anyway, so we close it, but when we close it, there's like this little metal hook thing that just slides directly, perfectly in place to lock the door.
Right.
Wait.
Yes.
Wait.
Yeah, but it's like that. It's like the little slip thing that comes down to keep people from being able to even unlock sliding doors. you know?
Right.
Right,
It's
right.
made to keep you out.
Well,
It's
wait.
called,
Right.
Gina says it's called an eye hook.
Well, wait a minute.
Yes.
Are you on
there you go.
the ground floor? What?
Oh, no,
floor?
we're on the 11th floor.
You're on the 11th floor.
We're on the 11th floor, and so now what do we
Luckily,
do?
we were on the ground floor. of the
Yeah,
hotel.
so we jumped from the balcony to our car.
No.
went
What
home.
did you do?
That was not the case. So we're trying to
get.
get out. We're trying to do all these sort of makeshift ways to get out.
Can I
Doesn't
interject
really
that-
work.
that-
Sure, go for it.
That we
Tell the
didn't
story.
realize, I don't know about that, but let's share the story. But we didn't realize that we had locked ourselves out. We were out there for a while. So
Yeah.
it's like
Oh,
3
okay,
o'clock
right.
in the morning or later, and we go in, and the door won't move. And when I look down, I can see that little sucker just must have slipped. I mean, of all the juke joints in all the world, that little thing just slipped
Yeah,
in there.
perfectly in place,
It was
locking us out.
3 a.m.
Yeah, we're ready to go to bed. We're like, oh my God, we were talking, having a nice time. Oh, what's the time? And we're trying to go to bed now, and now we're locked out. And so, we're doing everything we can to try to get back in.
We use what are these called here? Of your glasses, the side of
The
the glasses that go behind the ear.
Rim of my
Not
glasses?
the rim.
What is the leg?
The part, the ear,
arm?
the part that
The
goes
ear-
over your ear, the
the-
long piece.
The
There.
ear extension.
Yeah, or it could be the eye extension.
Okay.
The Jeffries tube.
Eye
Okay.
ear extension.
This is great.
For
but-
listeners who know what this is called, please let us
So we
know.
tried that.
Please
write
it was
in.
gonna
Yes.
break.
Right, we're going to make it a contest. But anyway, to
However.
get right to it, we try everything we can.
Then we call.
We call the front desk.
No answer.
No answer.
Wait,
from
no one
the front desk.
No one
What?
answered you from the
No.
front desk.
No, and now we're thinking, what are we going to do? And we're like
Matt's
going through all
little
the.
heart starts to sink.
Yeah,
I
and
can
I'm like,
see it happening.
And I'm like, oh, who's going to have to eat who before morning? All that kind of stuff. And we're going to have to make a rope out of our clothes. And
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden you took your phone out of your case.
I've got a case on my phone, and it's kind of thin,
And she saved us.
So
And I got
she
the
like
door to open just enough, like a little crack, to
Yeah.
shove it in there and start like jamming upwards this little metal piece that needed to come
Well,
out of
and
that little eye hole.
and this is all done to the MacGyver theme music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, and then it got to the point where it looked like it was out, but it wouldn't open. Okay, you'd still so it was just on the edge. And then I was like, I'll just break this thing, and I just shoved it up, and it finally worked. And I was like, awesome. So the whole saga was really only about 20-25 minutes. I was like, I'm so glad
I
this
think it was
happened
longer than that.
because
Yeah.
it ended the way it did. It's
Yeah.
a great story.
Right.
Wow.
Yes. Anyway, Mark Tavares.
Yeah, Mark, I'm so glad. Mark, I'm so glad you're here to listen to this.
Yeah,
This
how
is
the hell can I
great.
follow that?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
No.
Hey,
There's another great story I got.
Okay. Yeah.
Where
You got
my
locked out of your
car ran
car.
out of gas.
Right.
Look, this is great, but I want to get to Mark, okay? Because I know he's like a busy guy. He's probably got a lot of parties to go to and stuff. And he can only be here for so long. So
I want to hear the story about shimmying down 11 flights naked. Into, that's,
Well, let's
I know
write
that
that
didn't happen.
story
Okay.
tonight.
Anyway, yes.
Well, Mark, how long have you been coming to Comic-Con? Is this a regular thing for you every year?
This has been a regular thing since the early 90s.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Every year
I think we're the same
consistently?
with that, yeah.
Wow.
I'm sorry?
Every year consistently?
Yes.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah, there was a period where I had my side business here. We were exhibitors, and we had a
Awesome.
booth and things like that, and that was an illuminating experience. And that was right in that busy period of time that
Right.
because it's definitely been a little less crowded this year, which I
it's
noticed.
nice.
Yes,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
It is
Have you
nice.
guys noticed that? Yeah.
Yeah.
But the years previous, obviously, it was
Yeah.
jammed. Like sardines in a can kind of thing.
do you come as a professional?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And Mark had, when he had a booth here, I mean, his stuff is great. His artwork is amazing.
Yes.
And there are so many pieces that I have of his that are like, I mean, I still have my zombie brains shirt.
Really?
Yeah, which is done sort of like the Obama
Oh yes.
Hope shirt.
Yeah.
Or
Right,
Hope
right.
poster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's this great zombie with the word brains under it. I love that thing. It's so funny. It's like one of those things. It's like that idea that you're like, oh, of course.
Yeah, yeah. It's the two best-selling ones we had were zombie parodies of things. That Shepherd Ferry piece of art, and then the sign they have here on the freeways, or used to have, of the alien family running across the freeway.
Yeah, I know. Like grabbing the little girl
Yes,
who's like floating.
And they used to have one with a teddy bear, I think. The girl was holding it. It was very bizarre. So we just dropped a zombie into that and sold 1 million of them. So,
Oh
yeah.
my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, it was
That's
quite
awesome.
a lot of fun. So, but yes, at that point when we had a booth here and we were doing it was amazing, and that little 10 by 10 square was like an oasis. It was beautiful. I could go in there
Yeah.
and just
Right,
be away from
right.
the crowd.
It's a good spot too.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Did you
Yeah.
get the extra padding with the carpet to make your feet, so...
Did you get that part?
Yeah,
No, no, we had to bring that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We, my partner at the time had done these types of shows before, so he'd invested in some foam squares and things like that you put down and like
Yeah,
puzzle
that's
pieces.
smart.
And those saved our lives.
It seems
yeah.
like in some parts of the hallway, they use the absolute thinnest carpet.
Yes.
And it doesn't make you feel like, am I on carpet or I'm just cement?
No, it's terrible.
Yeah, it looks like carpet, but it's actually just colored cloth or something.
handkerchiefs sewn together. Yeah, it's terrible. I agree.
Now,
Yeah.
you're one of these guys who's like, it's kind of amazing that you're working in the thing that you love. You worked with Don Post.
Yeah.
You worked on Super Adventure Team with
Yes,
me,
absolutely.
Dana, and
Yeah.
Rob Cohen.
Yeah.
And it's great to have this sort of run of jobs that
It's a
all
weirdly
stuff-
gifted life.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I'm one of the luckiest guys I know.
And
Came
your
up here-
wife, you got a kick-ass wife, too.
Absolutely.
Erin.
Absolutely. Who puts up with this stuff.
And
Yeah.
who's wearing
Yeah.
a great creature from the Black
She's
Lagoon
wearing a
shirt, I
creature
might
shirt.
add.
Yeah, well,
Right?
that's the
Yes.
cool factor right there. Say
And
hi,
nothing
honey.
else.
Yeah. And nothing else. What? Wait a minute. Okay.
Wait, you are
a
wearing
party.
something else over there, aren't you?
Yes.
For now.
Put a microphone in front of her so I can hear her.
Maybe.
Now, Mark,
Yes,
have you
yes.
have you noticed like anything changing over the years as far as the artist's alley, where all the artists are? Are there more? Are there less?
Well, everything seems to float around from year to year.
Right.
It's interesting to see how they reorganize Comic-Con and whatnot. I mean,
and they do,
from
right? Like every year, it's kind of
Every year,
different.
and every aspect of it too. I mean, things like how to get tickets, the ticket lotteries and
Right,
stuff.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's so many
Yeah.
people complaining, and the hotel lobby that unfairly benefits Monster Party members.
Or-
with the Marriott.
Specifically
wait a
Sean and
minute.
Gina.
Mark, Mark, don't get us started on the
Really?
sheer number of perks that Comic-Con throws us.
It's absolutely incredible.
Oh, yeah,
It's
free,
incredible.
free food,
my.
massages.
I know.
I can't
Yeah.
walk through a security gate without getting a free breakfast. It's amazing.
Yeah. I was very happy for you when you boasted on Facebook that you got the Marriott,
That's
this
right.
year
Hey,
and whatnot.
hey,
Yeah,
it was the luck of the
fantastic.
draw,
Yeah. Luck of the draw.
The Comic-Con
sure.
gods are favoring
But
us.
no, look. This is a great hotel. But
It is.
But aren't there some downsides to it being so close to the convention center? I mean, there should be like a raffle or a lottery or something to get up the elevator.
No.
But
It took a while.
a lot of the major hotels,
Not
it's hard
me.
to get.
Not
like-
ours.
No,
And ours,
Hey.
it's nothing. Not a problem at all.
I had
I'll
absolutely no
put up-
problem getting into Mission Valley.
You guys are taking the stairs, right?
I will put up with a cluttered elevator if I can. Once I get out of the building, I walk about 2 minutes and I'm in the convention.
Absolutely.
I walk
No.
over there.
And that is awesome, but there is something to be said for having a
No,
hotel
there's
that's
not.
a little bit further
No,
away.
I would agree. No, I would agree with you,
Because
James.
when you're here at the Marriott, it's great, but you never get away from being in the middle of everything.
I don't want to be away from the middle of everything. Not
Sometimes
for, I want
it's-
4 days. I want to be in the heat of it.
Man, sometimes it's good to have a little bit of a departure.
I like that.
Okay.
We're at the Sheridan. We're like we have this beautiful bay view.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
and
perfect.
That's
it's
nice.
so nice. And you get on a little shuttle and you're driving and you're looking at the ocean and
Yeah.
it's just gorgeous and
Meanwhile,
relaxing.
I've bought 3 things at the dealer's room while you're on the way over.
No, it's true.
None of those things I want.
I get
Oh, you sure about that?
I get a text from Sean. Just picked up last Godzilla item. They only had one. Look at this.
yeah, he's like, well,
Thanks,
Man,
yeah.
if it meant I could have gotten your room, I would have gutted you like a trout.
yeah. Hey,
That's all there is to it.
hey, Matt, I just
I
picked,
love you.
Agreed.
You know,
Hey,
very
Matt.
happy for you, but
I just picked up the last Godzilla figure, way overpriced. Wow, lucky you.
Are you an,
I'm staying on a sailboat.
Yeah.
Winning.
Yeah.
How did the attorney arrange that?
So I have a friend who lives in town. She has a sailboat in Shelter Island, and I sent her a note and said, like, hey, because of the hotel apocalypse, can I stay on your sailboat? And she went, sure. So it's a wonderful yacht club with a hot tub.
Wait, is she even there?
No. So
You got access to this yacht all to yourself?
it's a Ranger 32.
Wait a minute.
Sex favors or anything?
Nope.
Wow, I thought you were kidding.
I'm
when you said
sorry
that.
about
You're-
that,
are you
Josh.
serious?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Wow.
So it's
you can
Yeah,
keep the Marriott.
but you don't. You
want
don't
the
know what
boat.
goes on at La Quinta.
and I'm
They got
okay.
two ice machines. Okay.
The yacht club has an ice machine, and I, right here in my pocket, have the key to the ice machine.
Oh, geez.
Okay. Wow. Well, that is better than
All
La
right.
Quinta.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that's
Next year, I'm circling in a Zeppelin the entire time for the weekend, and just parachuting down each day.
Oh man.
I'm just gonna stay in an air-conditioned shed just right outside the con.
No, I'm calling BS on that one. They don't have air conditioning anywhere in this city.
Ooh, yeah.
You know what? They don't have it in Ralph's.
No.
Isn't that weird?
No, that can't be true.
Wait,
That
how's the
can't-
food
no.
steak?
No, that's
I don't know.
No,
How does the,
you are on crack, sir. Because
Yeah.
they do. I think what it is, it's like so many people are going in there, and it's hot, and everyone's breathing and stuff, and and I think that's
And
what
that
makes
should
it-
defeat air conditioning.
I'm just saying that it's much
we didn't
cooler.
factor in breathing.
I think what it's like in the beginning of the day, in the morning, where you would never go there in the morning, but I would. It's much cooler there in the morning. Maybe it just can't keep up with all the people who are coming
maybe-
in.
All right, okay.
Getting roast beef sandwiches.
What do you think?
and stuff.
I have a theory.
Go ahead.
I think that San Diego's so used to having such beautiful weather
Yeah.
that they're paying for what they think is air conditioning, and people are saying, "Well, yeah, you got air conditioning now. You just turn that little switch on, but it doesn't work, and we know it. But they're idiots because they're so used to perfect weather." Does that make sense?
No.
I just think it's a conspiracy theory against the assholes that have perfect weather all the time. They're
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, no, we got air conditioning." You flip it on, you're like, "No, that's
All right.
just
Are you
air."
sad about living in LA?
No.
All right, that's
It
She
pretty
was-
is so filled with
Let's-
anger.
Yeah,
It was one of the hottest days. It was one of the hottest
Yeah.
days of the year in San Diego just yesterday, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it was,
Yeah.
I mean, it was insane.
How's the weather for you, Mark Tavares?
Well, yes, it was a little bit warm yesterday, but this morning was unbelievable. We got off the shuttle bus from our hotel in Mission Valley.
You guys should hook up. There's a miniature golf course. It's kick
we have
ass.
2 ice machines.
Yeah, actually, it's a refrigerator box under the freeway overpass, so we're staying. That's all we could get. But no, we walked the bridge over from the shuttle bus stop.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
there was this amazing fog. All this
yes.
morning.
Oh,
and it was
yeah,
so
yeah.
cool
Beautiful.
and wonderful, and yeah, it was great. It was fantastic, and you knew that was just going to burn off in about
Yeah.
an hour or two.
Yeah. I was hoping, but
Yeah.
no.
No,
All
but
right.
the rest of the day it was
well,
great. So,
well, this
yes.
is great that we're talking about the weather, but I want to get to.
Yes.
Was there something that you saw? Was there something that you were looking for at
Yeah, anything you
Comic-Con?
bought,
Because you're
anything,
a
collector.
You're a collector. You're not a hardcore collector.
like-
no, I'm not. I'm not a hardcore collector. Certainly not in comparison to you, sir.
No, you don't have a problem like we do.
You don't have a collection.
No,
like,
I am
us, yes.
amazed at the collections you guys have.
Yes,
I am.
yes.
No. Seriously, I am.
A lot of gaps in our emotional.
Turn in my nerd
Reality.
card every time I see your stuff because
Yeah.
it's just incredible. But no, what has happened over the years is I've sort of gotten rid of a lot of toys and things that I had collected. Again, really crappy stuff like the full run of toys from the Lost in Space movie. Yeah, nobody cares about that.
Were you able to sell those? Just got to give those away.
Those went
Just
to
burn
Goodwill,
them.
and I think
Just
they
burn
burned
them.
them.
Yeah.
Okay, they burned them.
Yeah.
But then what has happened is I'm trying to concentrate more on the art and things like that.
Good for you.
I found San Diego is a great place to come to pick up art books because you find just some of the best stuff. There's a couple of dealers. Blood Plant used to be one of the best dealers there.
Okay.
But I think the internet has really cut into their convention business, so their booth is now a shadow of what it once was.
It used to be huge.
Yes, like
But
two
because they
islands
overprice
worth.
everything, though.
Yeah.
That's half the problem. If they came here and offered like internet prices, they would make so much more money.
Yeah, I don't know if that's
Possibly,
worth it for them or whatnot, but I don't know how that works.
What
But
they're
then
paying for what they're paying for the booth or the space here. They gotta
it's
kinda-
such
that's
a
why,
premium.
I think.
But there's another guy, I believe I'm going to probably muck up his name, but Stuart Ing Books, and he's over in the 5,000s or 6,000s or whatnot, over close to Artist Alley, and I mean that's some really high level art books if you're interested in that sort of thing. Love that stuff. And then there's a couple of dealers that specialize in Frank Frazetta and Wally Wood and things like that, and you just find some amazing stuff there.
Profiles in History is actually having an auction, and they have a beautiful Frazetta that it's coming up for auction. That it's just stunning.
Do you ever come upon those booths where it's like, really, you paid the money to be here at Comic-Con and this is your booth? You know,
No,
it's like,
what-
it's like a couple shitty toys that no one wanted, and then it's like some jewelry that you made, and you're like, wow, I'm so sorry. And they have this sad look because and they go, hi, and you go, hi, and then you just keep walking. Like, oh,
But you see, the funny thing about Comic-Con is that's not your thing. That's not your thing, and I see that. But there are other people out there who like that kind of thing.
Well, they're not going to the booth.
Well, how do you know? Do you stand out there and go?
I'm not clicking off people.
You know what I mean? Because I like it when you walk by some booths and maybe there's something interesting in there, but there isn't anyone in the booth. And oh my god, this is my moment where I can talk to the person there who's selling stuff. You know, or like.
So how do you make your jewelry? Oh, really? Is it wire? Oh, you find the beads at Michael's. Oh,
no.
I mean, what are you going to say to them?
You're also talking about like small press or small businesses.
Yes.
that are
That
looking
stuff I like.
at-
That stuff I like.
But no, sometimes they're just not that interesting. I mean, there's rows and rows of people who, let's face it. I mean, they're promoting a product or they've got a little comic or something, and hey, more power to them. But it's not like an established name. So I don't know. Do you really want to take the time and find out more about it? You only have so much time at this convention.
Yeah, the small, like the little small publications, the people who are doing like the really independent, like homemade little comic. That's going to be hard though, because if you have to have something that is going to grab people, or otherwise it's just like it's lost in the
there are
sea
a couple
of stuff.
of people that I've noticed that have been here forever. I mean, well before I've come
year after
you
year.
recognize
year
the
after
same,
year.
right?
And one of them I want to say is a character named Too Much Coffee Man. Which I know, and I've seen him forever, and it's I've not seen him anywhere else other than, and I don't mean this to offend this person, I just have never researched it, but I noticed that they're constantly here, constantly working it, and that's impressive to me.
Maybe this is where they make a lot of their.
It's possible, yeah.
You definitely have to be impressed by their stick-to-itiveness.
Yes.
Yeah, tenacity.
I mean, I've known about Too Much Coffee Man since I was in college, some almost 20 years
Okay,
ago.
yeah.
So, I am familiar. So, when I rediscovered him like 3 or 4 years ago here, that was actually a very exciting moment. So, I'm very grateful to his Shannon Wheeler, I think is his name.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you,
See?
Chris.
All right.
Thank you. You see, Mr. Artist. Okay. I mean,
Chris, is it doing better than it was, or?
It seems to be about the same. I mean, he still is doing new work and having new things out there.
Well, he doesn't know. He doesn't stand there. He doesn't stand there in the
just asking because he heard of it.
Yeah,
The fact that he heard of it is cool.
But he's not standing in the in the little table, all day long saying, "Hey, how are things going?"
Right.
But what I do love is that there are a bunch of really cool artists that I've seen every once in a while that they have more than just prints. They have other stuff. Like there's this. I think we talked about him last time. This artist named Doug Pagosh. It's Pgosh. And what's cool is he does like tiki stuff. Tattoo, hot rods, horror stuff.
I love his stuff.
Yeah, but he also has these. He was also some of his artwork was at the Creature Features, one of the Creature Features art show for the Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Right.
He's the one that did this beautiful painting of there's like a little boy with a popsicle and there's Creature from the Black Lagoon in an ice cream truck.
Yeah.
There's like a Marilyn Monroe type woman with a little like squid kid or octopus. I mean, it's beautiful, and he sells prints of that. But also, Matt, you would like this. he has flasks. And when he's got,
I love this, Matt.
listen, no,
You have a problem.
no, Matt, Matt,
Something to put your cough syrup in.
no, Matt, can I say
Decorative
this?
syringes.
Either a creature, he has either a creature from the Black Lagoon face. Okay, all right. This is
No, that's
come
cool.
on.
I like that. No, I actually would
or
like a flask.
A robot. So I'm like the robot or the creature, robot or the creature, and I'm having an issue. I'm not sure which one to get.
So,
Get both.
so you want a flask?
Yes.
So is the image
They're metal.
in the metal?
No, it's not.
Or is it like a covering around the metal?
It's not covering around. It's like on.
It's
It's
like-
on the
right.
It's
the face
imprinted
of it. Yeah,
into
yeah,
the metal.
Yeah, it's
Oh, that's
really,
cool.
really
I like that.
Now, did you say the name of the booth?
It's
It's Retro A Go-Go, and the website is retroagogo.com, and the artist is Doug Pagash.
Yeah, we had a nice long talk with him because the stuff is
Awesome.
like,
And it's like, you know, it's very cool, very colorful, sort of retro, a little
Yeah.
bit quasi tiki.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It's neat. You've seen it.
Now, I've seen. There's still, I think, is always less vintage stuff. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
all the like the collectibles and figures that we grew up with, like in the 70s and 80s. There's less of, but
You can find stuff.
But yeah,
still.
I did actually. I found a lot more of like the old Mego figures. There's a couple booths that had some of the really rare Mego figures. Like there's a guy who had loose, but they had the entire set of the Mego R Gang figures.
I saw that.
You never see those.
Really?
Well, if you go on eBay, you can
Well,
see
yeah,
them.
but I mean, at a convention, you
Sure. No,
usually
that's
go.
true. That's true.
Some guy had like the McDonald Land
yes.
figures.
Was
Hello.
that the same guy that had the Colorforms Alien 2 still in the package?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
but it wasn't
I love
mint in
finding
the
that
package.
stuff. You just right.
It was because
right.
it was cracked.
Yes.
So the air is gone.
The original air is gone.
Yeah.
But it's rare to see that kind of stuff though at Comic Con.
It is true.
You know,
Yeah.
but
Absolutely.
So
Well, speaking of which, now we've all gone to Comic-Con for many reasons, panels and everything else.
Yeah.
But we do like to shop.
We do.
And
Oh, yeah.
so, what have you guys purchased?
yeah, Mark, how about you? Did you find anything that you were looking for or didn't expect and found?
Let's see. This is a good place to come for interesting T-shirts. That's
Bought a lot of them.
Yeah.
And speaking
You
of
buy a
famous
lifetime
sponsors,
of
some of the
t-shirts.
greatest T-shirts
Oh,
ever.
my God,
Absolutely.
yes.
Actually, I bought one of their. I guess they're doing some Lost in Space comic books.
yes,
Yeah,
they are.
yeah.
Continuing adventures. So there was a Danger Will Robinson shirt that I bought,
Awesome.
and a Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. Like in,
I got that
wait,
too.
Josh, did you get
unfortunately,
that?
they were out, so I'm on back order, and they're sending it to
So
me.
Josh got it.
They're also sending it to me, but yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Great.
And then
Maritime.
Shout Factory, I had to stop by their booth because
I guess still have to check out Shop Factory.
yeah, the Blu-rays. They're unfortunately sold out for the convention of Return of the
everything?
Living Dead.
Oh, okay.
Which is great. And They Live. Unfortunately, that was also gone. But we did pick up Blu-ray Buckaroo Banzai. Oh my goodness!
Not a favorite of Matt's, but okay.
Giant
So
waste
remember
of
to get
time.
that for Christmas for Matt.
No.
Bucky the Bonsai Blu-ray.
Somebody
Yes.
crying?
What else?
And
Mark?
Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's
Philip
good.
Kaufman
That's
one.
good.
Yeah.
No, I'm back
Yeah.
now.
And they have these are brand new transfers, and they've got some
gosh,
new extra materials in them, things like that.
We all
Yeah.
love
Some
Shout
love.
Factory.
Yeah.
Shout Factory does all the Ultraman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Ultra 7 and Ultra
Fantastic.
Q.
And they
and-
also did Mystery Science Theater.
Yes.
And then all
they-
their Screen Factory stuff. I mean, all
Yeah.
their is fantastic.
They've got a big deal Blu-ray of The Thing coming very shortly.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's very exciting.
We got that on
wait.
order.
Yeah.
So yeah. And after that, it was just some neat art books. Trying to remember the booth, but they had an encyclopedia of monster movies from the 50s, which was great in paperback.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh,
A vintage one or a new one?
New one.
New one.
wow.
Relatively new. It had
Yeah.
a Cary Gamble cover, illustrated cover. I believe it was written by Bill Warren, I think. And
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow,
so
cool.
that looked pretty neat. And then we also picked up a similar type of encyclopedia for stop motion in movies.
Oh, you know what? This sounds
yeah.
like McFarlane Publishing.
Thank you.
Oh,
That's it.
yes.
Done.
Good. Nice.
Love
Nice.
McFarlane.
Good save. Thank
McFarlane
you.
is awesome.
Yeah,
Many
they're
of their books.
fantastic.
I think
great.
that book on 50s sci-fi movies is called "It Came from Hollywood" or something.
Yep.
Like
Okay.
God,
Awesome.
you are good. Steel
Yeah.
trap mine. The only other thing I was eyeballing is that there are these artist edition hardcover books of various comics. Like IDW, I think, is putting out Thor, I believe,
And they're really big?
They're big.
Yes.
They're
Oh, yeah.
the size of the original art, and what it is essentially the original art is rescanned, and so you see everything. You see the liner, the border
Yeah.
notes, all that stuff.
Oh, wow.
I have a
The
tale. I have
whiteouts, yeah.
Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
that's
So
awesome.
I didn't see them here at the show. I'm still looking for them, but
Yeah.
if not, I'll just order them from the site
Yeah,
directly.
they're beautiful.
but,
Now,
yeah.
are you a Godzilla fan, though?
I am.
Did you
Yes.
see the big Shogun-style Godzilla in the Toynami
No,
booth?
I did not.
Oh man, you
Wow.
haven't lived.
This is,
Now,
the, this is the gray color.
now,
right?
if our listeners remember last year
Oh,
at the
they
same
remember.
time, they had an exclusive Godzilla that was green, and they only made about James, was it 200 of them or
Something like that, yeah.
and I was like flipping out because I wanted to make sure I got mine.
Yeah.
So I got it. Thank God, it's still in the box,
God.
still
Of course. Thank God.
sealed. And
Yes.
but this is now the more.
You haven't torn it open?
No, because it's an exclusive. I mean, if I
But don't you want to touch it?
if I can still touch it without cutting the ties off it, letting it loose. But you see, but this
Because it might run away. You never know.
no.
I gotta get out of here. This guy's
We really
fucking
have to
nuts.
talk.
Okay,
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
jump on Larry. Look, this one is the more common one. This is the one where, they're going to make like only 2,000 of them. So
Right.
they're not as expensive, and this is kind of it's the blackish grayish one, and it's not a tongue. It says atomic breath. It's blue,
Sure.
and it's really
Right.
beautiful.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's at
I
a
saw it.
decent price.
Wow.
You know,
What's the
Okay.
decent price?
it's $225.
It's $225.
It's $2.25.
Can I just say you can get the original
Pretty good.
for that?
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
No, in the
If you
mint
shop correctly on eBay,
okay,
you can.
Okay, Mr. Know-It-All, mint in the box. Mint in the box.
Maybe not mint, but the one that you get, the one you got, the green one, you could absolutely get one mint in the box.
It's mint in the box.
But yeah, yours was made like yesterday.
Wait, the green one?
The green one.
See, this is what I want, Mark. What I want is I have the original one from 1979 with the box, and now I have the green one by Toynami that was
Which
made
is
last year in the
recreation,
box.
right.
This is understandable.
And
Yeah.
now I'm thinking about getting. Well, I have to get it. You
Yeah,
know, the
of course, you have
big.
to.
You
one.
have to.
Yes,
You have to.
yes.
There's no
That way I will
question.
have.
But you're never going to take it out and have it.
No, I will this one. You know why, Matt?
will?
Why?
You know
Why?
why? Because this is the more common one, and maybe I'll pick up a second
Wait a minute,
one.
you're
And
telling
it won't
you're,
run away.
you're telling me that you will take this one out of the box and play with it and move it around,
Touch it and love it.
and love
Yes.
it,
and smell it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
smell. Oh, that's
Well,
plastic,
if you do
right?
that-
Smell,
You
yep.
see, everyone knows.
That's killing my brain cells.
No, see, everyone says, well, what about the air,
hair in my
Larry? What about
knuckles.
no, it's not sealed in an airtight compartment.
Breathe
okay?
the air of now.
No, it's
Yes.
but it's like I may.
Okay,
I,
good. That's
and
good.
you know what? If I do,
if you do
I
that,
will.
you should do it on a show.
I'll
We'll watch you.
No,
and we'll
Yeah.
record the
I
moment.
can't. I can't do that. I'll be stressed out. But I will bring it.
That'd be good radio.
No,
Can you set up a GoPro and do like a photo essay? or
No,
something?
but
I mean, that's, you know.
what I may do is I would bring him over and show him to you.
Yeah, that would be great.
I see it as a Lovecraft story.
Yeah, one of the unboxing videos with Larry, it would be awesome.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's do
That
it.
would be cool.
But
I want to
be
do. I
4
want to do
hours
it as.
long.
I want to do it as a love.
I will. I can't. I will. I can't.
Right.
I want to do it as a Lovecraft story where it's a journal and every day it's like a different entry.
Right.
July 27th, 2016. The box beckons me.
All right. Well.
I resist its siren call.
Okay, as much as I love Godzilla, though, I also love, Creature, as I'm sure you love the Creature, too,
Absolutely,
because your
yes.
lovely wife has a lovely Creature from the Black Lagoon shirt.
She's representing. Yep.
Yes, she is. Now, there's another great artist who I'm sure you're familiar with
Yes.
because great artists all kind of hang out together. There's this guy named Eric Joyner.
Oh,
and
yeah.
he does these paintings with robots and
donuts.
donut.
Yes, yeah.
And get this, Mark. Do you know he did one? Oh, and this was great because Sean, I had a great chat with him. He did this great painting of the Creature from the Black Lagoon underwater with a beautiful antique Craigston robot underwater, and it's the robot has like a bubble, so it looks like he's underwater. So and then you see little donuts. And I talked to him because a lot of his robots
Underwater donuts?
Well, here's the thing. See, Sean, I don't know if Sean really knows, but it's like
Larry,
the
my wife and I own several of his prints.
Yes, okay, yes.
So yes, we know about the guy.
Okay, and are those robots antiques, my friend?
The robots and the paintings?
Yes.
I don't know. I just love.
We didn't have them.
No, I will tell you, Sean. No,
Oh, my.
Sean. I'm going to
Wow.
tell you. Many of those robots are not antique robots. They are contemporary
And
robots.
that matters. Why?
Because it's a contemporary robot. It's not an antique robot, Sean.
Gene and I got the paintings because we enjoy the paintings, not
But it's
because
not a vintage
whether the
one.
robot is
you want a
vintage or
vintage?
not.
But you see, this is what's so great about the one with the Creature because the Creature's with a vintage robot.
Oh, okay.
That's what's so
great.
beautiful. The only issue that I have and I'm sure Mark will
Really?
understand.
I can't wait.
No, come on, I want to hear this.
Okay,
Lay it on me, man.
I'm sure I'll
the
understand.
creature is underwater, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
The robot is underwater.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay.
What's a robot made out of?
Metal.
And what happens to metal when you get it under the water?
Absolutely
rust.
nothing because it's a fictional setting.
It's a
Oh, he's got a point.
The metal's
He's got a
okay,
point.
it rusts.
It rusts.
Only when it
You're
comes
absolutely
into contact
right.
with air.
Listen, I don't
So
want.
while it's underwater, it's not rusting.
Okay,
Yeah, so wait a
look,
minute.
I don't need the attorney to dictate to me what to think. I'm just saying that.
Okay.
if you
Sailor.
have,
Okay, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So if the robot is rusted and someone threw it in the water, who is liable for the condition of the
come
robot?
on.
Right, that's
no,
right.
no. Let's not bring.
Victim as is, it's still destruction of property.
All right, thank
Yes,
you.
Okay,
but
there
it
you
is
go.
it is still a beautiful.
It's
an amazing
and get
painting,
this,
yeah.
get
Robots
this.
are great.
So I asked him. So do you have the original? And he goes, no. I don't have the original.
He
I
didn't
just
say
have
no,
the-
no, no.
He didn't. No,
"Come on."
No. But he made
He just said
he made
said,
the
"Please
original
go away."
for a
That's what he
guy.
said.
It was a very wealthy dude who has
Yeah.
this massive collection. Who I'm hoping I could check out this guy's collection and see the original. But
I'm
I'll
sure he'll
settle
let
with
you
them.
in.
Yeah.
I'll settle with. Just knock on the front door.
Don't lead with the it's the antique robot that's yeah.
But anyway, Matt, you would like this though. Well, and Sean, I guess you know because you're buddies with him practically. He's from Northern California. He
Yeah,
grew up
yeah.
on Bob Wilkins and Creature Features.
Yeah,
He's-
okay.
And actually,
All right.
and actually, he had told my wife and I that the reason why he sometimes, not all of his paintings, but most of his paintings, he includes donuts, is because I think he said that he wanted to paint two of the things he loves most in life,
Yeah.
which is donuts
I'll
and
buy that.
robots.
Yeah.
So he combines
But
them
see,
in
I
the paintings.
had this
yeah.
long discussion with him about, it's nice that you do the contemporary robots. I said, but don't do those. You should do.
I'm
class-
sure he would
and-
take that to,
And then I
to
showed
heart.
I showed him pictures of my collection. I said, look, you should do like these. And he's like, oh wow, you have that. I go, yes, I do.
All
And I
right.
showed him.
Meanwhile, he's touching a red button under his desk.
for security.
hey man, I'm buying something. Okay, you're not gonna
cool.
do that.
Take your money back.
James,
Please leave my booth.
Let's
All
move
right, I'm
on
just
here,
saying.
James. How about you? What have you found you bought this year at Comic Con?
You know, I got something on impulse today that I thought was cool. I saw it in a display case. I took a picture of it. I thought that's pretty cool. I didn't expect to actually find it, but a dealer actually had it, and it was not that I collect a lot of Wonder Woman stuff, but it was a little figure of a Wonder Woman in her invisible plane.
That's awesome.
The invisible plane again. Where's
Yes.
our attorney? There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, we're coming full circle here to the invisible plane.
I would sue this toy if I were you.
I guess
That's a navigational hazard.
At Comic-Con this year, they're celebrating like the 75th anniversary of Wonder Woman. She's on the cover of the program book, and
Right,
it might
right.
have been an exclusive, but that didn't matter to me. It was just sort of a cool, I don't know, she's in this vehicle.
It's like clear plastic. It looks. So
I love
much-
it. I think it's
Yeah.
great.
It is. No, I saw it too.
Yeah,
but
It
I
looks
mean,
so
cool.
much
It's
like
cool.
the model they use in the 70s
Wonder Friends.
Wonder Woman. No,
Oh,
in the
Super
one in the
Friends.
Linda
Super Friends.
Carter Wonder Woman show, they would cut to her.
That's right,
Flying
yeah.
the plane. It was like a little model plane with a
Yeah.
little figure.
Yeah.
It was
Right.
it was exactly like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
it was
But I was
great.
thinking Super Friends. Remember
Well,
Super Friends? 'Cause
too.
you-
Yeah,
That too.
that
Super
was
Friends, they had it,
too.
yeah,
yeah.
Cartoon. Yeah.
Not something I was, looking for, but yeah, hey, yeah.
How much? And you said it was 50?
It was 50, yeah.
That's not bad.
So you have the Wonder Woman in the invisible plane?
I do.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
That's
one
really
of those
good.
things.
And did we
awesome.
see Linda Carter's costume?
The real one?
Yes, I believe it's at the DC booth.
Oh, really?
In a cabinet, in a lovely case with all the Suicide Squad costumes and things like that.
Right.
And then there's her original costume. sitting
I have to,
right
you know
there.
what? I
That's
missed that,
awesome.
Mark.
It's
Thanks for
ridiculous.
telling me. I'm
Yeah.
going to check
Yeah.
that out tomorrow.
We guys
And,
check
and
that
right
out.
next to it, there are a couple of Don Feld's designs for her various costumes on the show.
Like when she
the
her
swimming
swimming
leotard.
one with
Yes.
all the blue.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
she would,
exactly.
I remember
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Carrie and I, when we were walking around, we saw there was one woman who looked almost like Linda Carter, but older,
Yeah.
but still beautiful.
Okay.
Not
Yeah.
the one that was on that bus that I had to take, right? The one that-
What happened with that, Larry?
oh God! For our listeners, oh God, this is so.
And this is just a little anecdote to show you how Wonder Woman can ruin everything.
Yes, and I'll try and make it as
Absolutely.
quickly as I possibly can. So yes, the hotel that James and I got, it is in Mission Valley. It is a ways away. So, however, there is a shuttle that takes you out there. But when
Right,
you go
right.
out there, you have to stop at 5 hotels,
Sure,
which is
sure.
fine. But it feels like
It's
it
on the
takes,
route.
It feels like it takes an hour. Anyway, so
it does take an hour.
Yeah. So I'm getting on the bus and I want to go back to the hotel. And we get on the bus, and the first thing, Matt, is oh my God, it's so freaking hot and humid. It's almost Matt.
It's terrible,
It
right?
was Matt. It was hotter on the bus and more humid than was outside.
The air conditioner on the bus that apparently.
And when
That's
I looked at
horrible.
everybody and the bus was full, and I thought to myself, oh my God, is
My
everyone
theory stands.
no, is everybody is everybody breathing so hard or something like you know? And then this little old lady goes to the bus driver and says, "Oh my, I still can't feel any air." And the lady goes, "I'm sorry, ma'am, I've got it up as
That's a
much
good
as I can."
impression of an old lady.
Then all of a sudden, I said to myself, "Okay, I'm going to do what I normally do. Okay, it's going to be nasty. It's going to be a pain. I'm just going to kind of zone out and just trying to just deal with it. And all of a sudden, there's this woman dressed up as Wonder Woman, and maybe
Which is not that unusual.
no. And I love Wonder Woman.
Well,
but
sure,
she,
yeah.
And she was like let's say an older Wonder Woman,
40s.
And then she starts saying, "Oh my gosh, I was told to get on this bus." And it's the wrong bus. I asked someone, which bus, and they told me this one. And I'm like,
She was agitated.
She was agitated, and so it's like, and I'm thinking to myself, lady, just calm down. The bus will go back to. Anyway, she continues to go on, and then she says, oh gosh, I can't believe it. I'm going to the wrong hotel, and my gosh,
She wouldn't let it go. She kept going to the front and,
Matt,
and
she wouldn't shut up,
complaining to the driver.
And then
It sounds intolerable.
and then, Matt,
Yeah.
she says, gosh, I just hate it when people lie to me. I was lied to when they told me to get on this bus. And the first thing that came into my head
and mine.
was, well, shit, Wonder Woman, why don't you just take your golden lasso and tie it around and make them tell the truth?
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm not that guy.
I wish you were.
I
though.
know, Matt, I thought it. But, I was irritated, but
That would have been the greatest thing ever.
No. And you know what? Look, yes, I may sound irritated.
She would not have responded in kind.
No, it would have
Matt.
made that trip even longer.
Matt, check this
Right,
out.
right.
The bus driver. So what the bus driver did when he got to almost the last stop, the bus driver actually went out of his way to she took the bus to her hotel. Off the route.
Jeez.
And then what does Wonder Woman say? She says, "Oh, everybody, I'm so sorry. I'm so," and I just want to go, "Oh, just get off the bus," because now it's added another 20 minutes to my route. However, as irritated as I am, look, the bus driver was trying to help out Wonder Woman. So look, people try to be nice.
Have her have a conniption, and
Yeah,
Right, right.
but it. So I had a bad experience with older Wonder Woman.
So when she got off the bus, did you go up to the driver and complain about how this was a terrible, awful thing? And
No, that's not that's Matt's style. It's not my
don't want to
style.
complain.
Oh, you would have done that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I could.
No, I don't. No, I talk a brave game, but in real life, I'm like, whatever is fine.
Well,
Don't hit the face.
Sean, how about you? Did you find anything?
I
at
got
the
a couple
con that
things. I got the new Blu-ray for Dr. Butcher MD, which I'm sure
Finally.
you're all waiting for and know about. Yeah. It's a 2-disc set, of course, because it's the Americanized Dr. Butcher MD from the original film, which is Zombie Holocaust. Fantastic. And it comes with a barf bag, which is great.
Oh, that's
which,
great.
That alone.
which the original film gave out barf bags. So that's awesome. Got tons of extras. And also, my wife and I found a lot of little plush, beanie bag type figures for a lot of the Croft characters, like H's little beanie, HR Puffin stuff.
Oh, I love those.
a little Sigmund.
Oh my God, you got from the Bugaloos.
Yeah, Sparky from the Bugaloos.
Where'd you
But
get
my
the-
favorite one.
But the best one, well, not a Croft character, but the best one is kind of life size too. Is a little beanie figure of the Great Gazoo
No
from
way.
from the
Flintstones.
Flintstones, which is fantastic.
It's really nice.
so yeah.
Can you
Hello,
do? Can you
dum-dum.
do? What's his voice sound like?
I can't remember. Matt, you could probably
do.
his
Matt
voice
does his
better.
voice.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on.
How do you sound like?
Nice job, dum dum. Which it was Harvey Korman, right?
Harvey Korman.
Yeah.
What was
Is
it?
it?
Oh my God, that's awesome.
I didn't
yeah.
know that.
Oh, and also from HR Puffin stuff was Stupid Bat.
That is my favorite one.
Stupid Bat was this bat, and he was really stupid.
He was a
and
dumb
he
bat.
was- yeah,
I didn't like
You
that.
know how bats
Fantastic.
are.
But I do like that little Sparky from the
Sparky's
Bugaloos.
great. Sparky,
Where-
who was played by Billy Barty.
Billy Barty. No,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What booth was that at? Because I got to get.
Oh,
one of
gosh,
those.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Oh, come
But it
on.
was the same booth that had a lot of the really rare Mego figures. Oh, I remember. I think it was Heroes Inc. I think that's what they're called. And they had a lot of rare 70s stuff and a lot of from the 60s. Larry, you would like this. I think they had some of the Universal Monster Remco figures still in the box. They had the Phantom for $1,500.
Yes. No, I don't. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't have that
Super
one.
rare. I have
No,
a- I
You
took
don't
a-
have the
I took a
Phantom,
photo
huh?
of it.
No, I
took
don't.
a
So I guess you
photo
don't
of
have
it.
a full set then, right?
Why don't you
No,
go buy
I
it tomorrow?
don't.
It's only
Ouch.
$1,500.
Come on, guys. You know I can't
Yeah.
spend that kind of money.
Yeah,
No,
but so
no.
that was an example where a booth that had like a lot of rare vintage stuff. I mean, these beanie figures, they're new, but like, that was a kind of a nice combination of new stuff and like really rare old stuff.
Did you take a picture of it for me?
I did. I'm going to show it to you.
Thank you. Now that's a real friend.
Yeah.
Matt, did you find anything fun and cool?
Well, I have been experiencing something that is worrisome, but it's also kind of nice. And that is that I realize that I'm becoming a little more like Larry.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
I know.
Well,
It bothers me too, believe me.
Well, what do you mean? Like how so?
Well, there have been a number of times, Larry and I work together at Playboy, and we've had a number of moments where I will say something like, no.
Actually, you did do that.
And then I catch myself and I'm going, oh, fuck. Man, it's spreading. It's like a virus. But then, so at the convention, we're walking around and we go to this one booth that has a lot of great, cool T-shirts, and I buy some T-shirts, and then we see this gun from the show V.
Oh, yeah.
From the time.
The original, right.
80s.
Right.
And it's this gun, and it's hilarious. And it's in pretty good shape. The edges are a little dinged.
Still in package.
Still in package. And it's so funny because it's the Resistance. It's not the V alien gun. It's the Resistance gun. And on the side of it, there's a holster that says V Resistance. Now, if you're in the V Resistance, isn't it better to not have a thing on your gun that says V Resistance? It also comes with an identification card that says, I am with the V Resistance.
Wow.
V Resistance don't have an ID card. That's the first way that they get you. But it was so great, and it's this nice little piece of history.
And it doesn't really look like
it doesn't look like, and it's not like any gun you've seen in the show. It was like some cop gun that they just put in
they
this
reused
packaging.
for other like toys too.
Right.
Like, it was also the Kojak's gun.
Right, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
But it was so funny, and I got this thing, and they originally wanted like $35, and then I guess the guy does a lot of shows at Monsterpalooza, and so he was like, "Oh yeah, he's always at Monsterpalooza. Let's give it to him for $25." So we got it for $25,
Wow.
and it's a beautiful bonding thing with Carrie and I because we both love that show. And I don't want to take it out of the package, Larry. Wow. I'm not going to take it out of the package.
I can see why
Yeah.
this one is because of all the way it's presented on this kind of cheap cardboard packaging, but it's beautiful.
hilarious.
Though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know what's
great.
funny is
You'd ruin it if you
Well,
did.
the funny thing is when I saw it, my first, you know me, and my first gut reaction, I thought, well, if he takes it out, I mean, it wasn't like this was like the most valuable.
No.
But
right,
the
but it's-
The
presentation
presentation
was
is
so
so
classic.
fun and hilarious.
And I think I said gently, oh,
Gently?
No, not like you must. I said, you may want to think about not. I think I said that. It was,
I completely agree.
and there was this moment where
there was a moment where it was bonding.
I
beautiful
looked
moment.
into your eyes and I said, "Oh
we
my
looked
God."
deeply,
No,
madly
no.
into each other's eyes.
See,
Your
the funny
blue
thing is,
pools
you
of
say
eyes.
you can see Sean's trying to make it into a big joke. I'm just saying there was that moment where I go, "Oh my God!" I mean, we just had this very special shared moment.
Yes,
let's go.
I'm telling you. And there's been a number of times, even before that, where there's a couple things where I've even gone to Larry and I go, you know what? I bought 2 of these.
And
I bought one to open
And
one to keep in the package.
and just to let you know, in light, this Godzilla that I'm talking about, I am actually considering taking it out of the package.
Wow.
Taking it out of the box.
How do you like that?
It's like Felix and Oscar learning to live with each other.
Yes, yes, it is.
I mean, and the funny thing is that it's sure the green one that will stay in the box, but this one I'm thinking I may take
right,
it
that's
out.
good. See?
But if I do, I'll bring it over and you guys can.
All right.
Look
I
at
think
it.
I'm
down for that.
I don't know. I'm suddenly getting emotional, and I don't like it.
Okay, well,
I'm not supposed to feel emotions.
now I know Mark's with us, but as an artist, since he's an artist, and I don't know if you got a chance to see. There was something that really blew me away. There are a couple of booths there. There's the Profiles in History auction house, and they have
Right.
I mentioned they have great stuff with the big auction coming up. There's also another place called the Prop Store. It's
Yes.
thepropstore.com.
Oh, okay.
And
Right.
John, I don't know if you saw this, but I'm a huge Ray Harryhausen fan.
Yep.
And I walked over there. They actually there's this auction coming up, and they're going to be auctioning up a bunch of Ray Harryhausen original sketches, drawings
That
from
he did.
Yes.
from Jason and the Argonauts,
God.
Wow.
the Golden Voyage of Sinbad, Valley of Guanji. But what really, I know our listeners know if Ray Harryhausen, one of the classics, Jason and the Argonauts. There's the Battle of the Skeletons.
Amazing animator, but
Yes.
an incredible
Fantastic
artist.
artist.
And
Yeah.
here's the thing, Matt. If you look at this auction, if you look at some of these pictures, what I thought was so great is the picture that he has of Jason and the guys fighting the skeletons. Some of the skeletons have these helmets with like a mohawk thing on it. They look almost more...
So there are variations that he didn't necessarily
Yes.
follow through
That's
in the
well,
animation.
and for various reasons,
right.
and I understand.
So
but
there's like-
but also, there's a picture from I think it's the seventh voyage of Sinbad, where there was supposed to be a battle between two Cyclops.
Yeah.
which I never knew.
So was did it end? Maybe that ended up just morphing into the dragon and the Cyclops.
I don't
instead?
know, but I don't know. But I had a great talk with the guys. I mean, these are beautiful drawings, and I mean,
That's
I
awesome.
should tell the listeners to go check out the propstore.com because
That's awesome.
they do a bunch of auctions, but this was really special because
very much so,
I mean,
yeah.
they had other stuff too. I think there was a gremlin there, which I know you guys don't like, but there was a gremlin and a bunch of other stuff. There's some Star Trek stuff, but the Harryhausen stuff I was really impressed.
The Harryhausen
awesome.
stuff was amazing in
Yeah.
that I'm not the world's greatest Harryhausen scholar, but I didn't know that he also was involved in some of the sketches had to do with like possible poster designs.
Yes,
for
the
the
gu-
film, which
the-
was interesting.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
There was another Sinbad movie that he did some pictures of, and then a Guanji one I think
Right.
he did. Yeah, which was
Yeah.
really really cool.
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah.
Did you guys see the recently released video, or at least I recently saw it, of his War of the Worlds?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
It was,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
yeah. There was a.
There's
yeah,
some animation
he did-
test footage,
It was a
isn't
test
there?
footage.
Yeah.
It was a test footage. And
Yeah.
you know what? It's funny because some stuff I like. The animation was neat, but I didn't like the big eye. The eye. I had an issue. It looked too cartoony for me. But that's
Interesting though what that would have been like.
It looked to me. It looked like a really cool ViewMaster.
Yeah. Yes, Matt.
Cell.
Yeah.
Yes, like a
Yeah.
ViewMaster.
The alien was just fundamentally different than what we saw in the other film,
Right.
and that would have been neat. The big head, the tentacles.
which I think is more in line with the way H.G. Wells described it in the book, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and had you never seen the George Powell one, that would be
Right.
pretty impressive.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would have been neat, and that was awesome radio.
You're an honest man, Josh Gilliland.
Well, the attorney has spoken. Okay.
Oh wow, he's back. He's back.
But I love that type of artwork.
Yeah.
Well,
Absolutely.
And I
I do
also
too.
like the fact that you guys are plugging these people who
Yeah.
do great stuff. I mean, I always enjoy the Entertainment Earth booth.
Oh yeah. Yes.
And we always talk about these exclusives and how they sell out.
Yeah.
And the thing that I enjoy about Entertainment Earth and even the Mattel booth
Yeah.
is that it seems like they have enough of the stuff there. It doesn't sell out on day one.
Well, Entertainment Earth, definitely.
Yeah, you can go there and still get their stuff. They brought enough. And like one of the things I really enjoy, and I don't even normally enjoy this kind of thing, but they do these wooden figures. They almost look like kind of like Play School.
Or Fisher
No, no,
Price.
Fisher Price.
Fisher
yeah.
Price.
Oh
yeah.
my God, I saw
Yeah,
them.
these little figures of Star Trek and the Twilight Zone. But the Star Trek ones I really love because, and they're all made of wood, by the way. And they come with a wooden bridge. Gosh. And I think of like, man, if I was 4,
Yeah.
that would have been the
Oh my God.
most badass thing ever.
Can you imagine if they also made like a little wooden Gorin, or
I'm
a
sure it's
Mugatu
coming.
and
It's gotta be
well,
coming.
since they're dealing with Star Trek, they have countless characters they can do. So they,
Yeah, that thing will go forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I saw those, and they're very simple in design, but very charming.
They
and,
are.
And the funny thing is that my kid's too old now. She would, but they're perfect for me.
Yeah, right, exactly, right. Yeah, exactly.
right.
I would play with those. Yeah, it is a conversation piece. So it's great that we're talking about all the stuff that we like and that we bought
Yeah.
and everything like that. But Mark Tavares, we
Mark.
are all about plugging. We are a plug-a-thon. What do
Yes.
you got? Anything?
Well,
Because he's always working on stuff.
You are always working on something.
like,
I am.
you're working with Seagal again, or what's going on with you?
It's like a whole-
no, it was so much fun that first time that you guys had me on here. I'd never been on a podcast before.
Oh.
I didn't know what to expect. It was amazing seeing you guys work.
And you're great.
And thank you.
Yes.
But I've been listening and watching you guys grow and seeing you really come into your personalities, especially you. Especially you.
He's pointing to Larry.
He's pointing to Matt.
No, let's be fair.
You know,
Larry, it's Larry's show. We all know that.
and
It's because I said my show once, and now Matt won't
Well,
let me.
yeah.
I was trying to make it like when I talked to
He's
John.
trying to throw us a bone. And
But I
include
understand
us.
that. But it's your passion, man. I
It
mean, you've
is.
got energy and passion.
I love
and,
these
And
guys.
whenever these guys throw something at you that you don't agree with, you just get right in their face and get right over
Doesn't
the table
back
at
down.
them. And,
Yeah, that's right.
and
He
it's-
rolls with it.
No. And I just, I am so amazed by that.
And he
that I-
doesn't hold a grudge. I've noticed that. He doesn't hold a grudge.
No, not at all. No, not really. But I was just really so impressed by that I became inspired, and I wanted to do some artwork to just. So I'm working on a design right now for a new.
Oh my God!
Oh, listeners, you have to see this.
My God.
It is an angry face of Larry Strothe wearing a
Surrounded
Monster
by-
Party cap
Yeah.
with like a cacophony of nose.
Yeah.
Surrounding
And
him.
one, come on.
So I guess
Oh, it's beautiful.
Mark has been
That's
doing this
awesome.
while I don't know. I don't know when do you have time to do this?
I've been-
were we talking that much and you were like, oh, they're not listening to me, so I better draw something? Or?
No, I was
no.
out in the hallway.
The
for
guy
about 2
draws a
hours,
picture
so,
of you, and you immediately insult him.
No, I'm not insulting him. No,
You are a
it's
piece
a
of work.
lovely. It's a lovely.
For our listeners, we will be posting this.
No,
Yes,
no,
you'll be
no,
posting
no.
it. Yes.
You want to
Yes.
post that? Yes,
Yeah.
of course. It's
How could you not post that?
Yes,
I mean, is it just me?
we'll be selling this print soon.
Yes, we will. We will be selling this print, and it's going to do well.
People will be buying good money for this.
Oh my God! You know, I just realized. You remember when Kiss did their 4 individual albums, and they each had an album with their picture on it? It's like, so here we have like an album. Here's the Larry one. There'll be the Matt one, the Sean one. Which will sell the most? Well, it's got to be the Larry one because he's like no on it all the time.
I think it'll just all be Larry.
There's only going to be one album, Larry, and it's just you.
The people have spoken.
Mark, I am very touched. I think it's a wonderful drawing. It's very
fantastic.
funny.
Oh,
thank you.
You
Yeah.
And I wanted to commend you that you are an amazing artist.
Thank you.
And
Yeah,
I'm so
it's
happy
very
to
nice
call
of you
you
to
a
say that.
friend
Yes.
and
Yeah,
have you on our
he's the
podcast.
greatest. And you also have great taste in T-shirts too, because
thank you.
right
Oh,
now
yes.
he's wearing an "I Drink Your Blood, I Eat Your Skin" T-shirt.
Double feature T-shirt.
Double feature. "I Drink Your Blood," one of my favorite films.
One of the greatest
I
movies
really
ever made.
I really do love it. Love it.
Really?
And my wife hates it.
Oh,
And to a point where I don't even understand why. Like, it's just so much fun, but it's tawdry. It is. It's very grindhousey.
Yes, very much. Yeah.
But the fact, and you have never even seen the movie, right?
That's the weird thing. Yeah, I've never seen the movies. I've seen this double poster thing forever.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just
It's
loved
kind of a
it.
famous
You
double
you
feature.
have
I've
to
just
see "I
never
Drink
gotten
Your
the
Blood."
opportunity to see it either
Yeah.
in video or what have you.
Don't
so
bother
no.
seeing "I Eat Your Skin."
Yeah,
Fine.
no.
This is what I've been warned
Yeah.
against.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
yeah,
But
I
it's
will definitely.
it's great to have an artist on the show.
Yeah.
And we talked about a lot of artists. And we love great monster art. We love great science fiction art.
And
You
it's
know,
like it's almost like we can't get enough of it.
You know, Matt, you're right.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
how often
I
is
wish,
it?
wish there was more.
I wish there was more. Like, I don't want this show to end.
I-
I want someone else to.
I love.
It would be great.
I would love if like another artist knocked on the door right now.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, that would be. What?
Wait
the
a minute.
fuck?
Wait a minute.
Wow.
You know,
This
what-
is fucking
incredible.
Amityville weird.
Oh my God! Wait!
Who is? Wait,
What? James? What?
Who is that?
Simon Thorpe.
Simon
Thorpe!
Thanks so much for coming.
How-
This is
oh
a total
my
surprise.
God. Wait, Simon Thorpe. You know this guy? He's an artist. He's done stuff for covers of famous monsters.
Holy shit!
Oh my God! Oh, guys! Wait.
This is like if Christmas happened on Christmas and there was yet another Christmas.
Simon,
Look at this!
you
Look!
made
Look!
it.
I have it. Did you do this cover?
I did.
Oh, look
That's
at this!
Larry is showing. Look at this microphone.
Famous Monsters number 265. Now, of course, there are
Right.
different variation covers, but this is the Ray Bradbury cover.
It's so beautiful.
Ray Bradbury.
Simon, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
finding our hotel room tonight.
This
Yeah.
is so
Was this
great.
because the ice machine on your floor wasn't working?
I was press ganged.
Oh my God, that's
Simon,
awesome.
Like we see you at Comic-Con almost every year. You make it here just about every year, right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
You live in the UK.
I live in the UK.
What's that? I can't hear you. Say that again.
I
Put the
didn't say-
microphone closer.
I live in the UK.
There you go. Oh,
I come here every year to get green Godzilla statues.
Ooh, awesome.
green Godzilla statue.
yeah, yeah.
That's interesting. How's that working out for you? Are you sure it's not a giant green plastic toy?
I come here to buy cardboard boxes.
All right.
Now you've got him.
Okay.
Now
Okay.
you got
okay.
him.
Look. Now you're just being silly. But that can't take away from your amazing
Yeah.
artistry.
Now, how many have you done? Like several
Yes!
covers for famous monsters.
Six so far. I've done Ray Bradbury, The Wicked Witch for West,
which is great.
Ooh, awesome.
Award,
That's a-
won the Rondo Award for.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Richard Matheson,
Yes. Great. Yeah,
that one's
was a great
awesome.
one.
That's
I know the
great.
one.
Doctor Who.
Yeah.
I love that one.
No, I skipped on that one. I got
he
the
didn't
other
like
covered.
Doctor Who.
No.
Penny Dreadful.
Okay.
Great.
All right.
Great.
And,
Sure.
a modern classic, Batman versus Superman.
Oh,
Sweet.
There you go. Cool.
Look at you.
Now,
Yeah, look at me.
I can't take my eyes off of you.
now, Simon, are you kind of like a monster kid? I mean, did you grow up kind of loving this stuff too?
Well,
or?
my parents are normal.
You're the only one.
Yeah, no, I like monsters, sci-fi, fantasy. I always have done. So I'm not as into monsters as Larry is, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to get personal with it. So
No,
Why
can
not?
We can be friends. You know,
Yeah, no, come on.
Come on.
Being from the UK, was there particular like British movies or TV shows that you really loved?
well, I grew up. I've got two older brothers, so I sort of grew up watching that kind of stuff, and they had watched things like Quatermass and
Quatermass.
All the Quatermass films, yeah.
and even the early Doctor Who stuff before it became really sort of silly. I don't.
Yeah,
watch
before it
Doctor
became
Who now.
silly.
Well, like-
Tom Baker actually lives very close to me in England.
Is that right?
Really?
Are you
Can
guys?
can we come visit you and
Do
will you
guys
introduce
number?
us?
Did you call them?
Yeah, we'll come visit. Yeah, I do package deals. So
All right. Beautiful.
Awesome.
We'll be
If
we'll
we
be
could
there in
organize
2
a
days.
cruise, that would be nice.
Do you know Tom?
no, I've spoken to him a couple of times,
Really?
That's awesome. Yeah.
and I've witnessed Tom Baker buying cheese. So
Wow. That's pretty awesome.
Wow.
beat that
Brushes with
everyone.
Now,
fame.
Simon, what kind of cheese was it?
He said, and I quote, he wanted something so strong it'll make your eyes water.
Really?
Wow.
Interesting.
Don't you love that
Wow.
behind the scenes
I
information?
know. I want.
that's
I
great.
This
so
is in
want
front
to
of the
eat.
scenes.
Yeah, this is happening outside
Okay, now look,
with the people.
Look, look. You've done
you look?
you've done artists like on covers and stuff like that. But you also didn't you do designer stuff for movies or something like that?
Yeah, I work in the film industry as an illustrator.
Okay.
Awesome.
I started off doing paintings as props. First one was a James Bond film, and I did a ton of work on Harry Potter.
James Bond.
Yeah.
Really?
Harry
And
Potter.
Harry
Wow.
Potter.
Very.
Which
I'm a
which James
huge-
Bond film?
Yeah.
The World Is Not Enough.
Wow.
Sweet.
Awesome.
And I did a painting of a man who's supposed to be the grandfather of the main Bond girl, and he's supposed to be sitting on a horse with a particular landscape and architecture in the background.
That was
And you
Sophie Marceau's grandfather in that
Yes,
movie?
yeah, he's just
Awesome.
a Turkish warlord, and you can see the horse's hoof for about half a second, and that's it.
But in
That was great. I
all made
I
the
was
guy.
thrilled to bits, actually. I couldn't sleep all week after it.
That's awesome.
but in Harry Potter, you painted the paintings that hang in Hogwarts. Is
Yes,
that right?
that's right, on the staircase.
Oh.
That is
Awesome.
that blows me away. That's amazing because
cool.
there's so. I mean, you see a lot of those paintings and they're gorgeous. So
Now, do you
nice
get-
job, sir.
Yep, I actually have some here.
Oh! I want. Oh, can
Again,
we
great
see?
radio.
Can we see? Oh, come on! They can look. Maybe we
Well,
maybe
yeah,
we can
I mean,
put
we
them
can-
on the interweb, Sean.
yes,
maybe we can
we
put
could.
pictures on
The
our
interweb.
Facebook page.
We should do that,
Don't
yeah.
say, "Oh, this is great radio." Okay.
Now, Simon, did you get to keep the original pieces after the movie, or
No.
Or you're
really?
hired to make this
Okay.
painting and it's
Yeah,
theirs,
yeah,
right?
I work for hire. I'm a complete whore. And,
Wow, that's so refreshing.
so I started off doing that. It's supposed to be a 6-week job. It
Yeah.
went on for months because the numbers of paintings keep going up and up.
oh
and
wow,
up.
that's awesome.
There ended up about 1,200 paintings on the staircase.
Good God.
Jeez,
Don't you
That's
feel
awesome.
like now that we have Simon on with the British, our show's just been elevated? We're more elegant now.
It's Comic-Con International.
It is. It is. We are
yes,
international,
we
Sean.
are, we are.
I mean, you know the funny
Thank
thing.
you, Simon.
No, the funny thing, Sean. Just to let you know, we have listeners all over the world,
That's true.
mind you, and we have some in England. So I'm sure there's
Yes.
somebody out there that goes, "Oh my God, they've got Simon Thorpe." That's a, or they say it in a
course.
British language. You know, oh my God, they have British. Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Maybe you could get by a microphone.
She said otherwise known as English, Larry,
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
That's true.
not American.
I didn't say that. So, James is looking at some of the photos
Yeah, I see
of
you've done
of
covers for
Jason's
Creepy Tales.
Yeah,
Cool.
That was
Awesome.
for a David Twohy film called Below, which is
Oh, I know that one.
I like
Yes,
that. I
yeah.
like that
a
movie.
haunted house.
The
with
Haunted on a
settlement and
Submarine?
sort of
Yeah, that was
So
pretty
they
good.
wanted some pulp magazine covers.
Oh yeah, one guy was
So-
reading like the old
Yeah, yeah.
vintage
Yeah, so
sci-fi.
the crew
yes.
reading these
and you
magazines
that's
with China,
awesome.
and I did the cover to it, yeah.
Bruce Greenwood is in that, right?
So James
Yeah,
is
I like that
showing
movie.
us some pictures that Simon painted, and they're beautiful. And I'm sure we're going to get a chance
Yeah,
to
we'll
put them
post
up
some stuff,
on
absolutely.
Facebook. But they are stunning.
Of course.
Simon, is there anything that you're working on right now? Are you going to do another Famous Monsters, or like, is there, or are you not able to tell us?
I'm not able to tell you because I don't know for sure yet.
You know what? See,
I found
you're
in the
trying to
past
be snarky, but I know you know, you just
No,
can't
he's just
tell us.
funny.
Well, there's some things I don't even tell myself. Actually, I'm very discreet. No, but I can't say because I don't know, and if I do say something, then I'll end up putting a whammy on it. So
Sure.
Right. No.
All
I
right. So
understand
okay.
that.
So you're working on nothing. That's great.
So,
Thank
no,
you.
wait a minute, Simon.
I'm booking my suntan.
Now you make it to Comic-Con just about every year. What is it that brings you here every year?
It's a chance to meet people who are actually worse than I am.
Mission accomplished.
Classic.
No, I came over here originally. I was going for a quiet patch in my work, and I thought, well, I can either sit by the telephone waiting for it to ring, or I can get on my backside and go and see people. And I had no idea who I'd meet, but I knew that if I didn't go, then I certainly wouldn't meet anyone.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anyone out here at all, and I came out with a friend who introduced me to someone, Bud Plant, who introduced me to Cafe 97 of Spectrum Fantastic Art.
Yeah.
I showed him some work. I had 2 pieces in that. I came back with some work, and since then I've become friends with more and more people.
Yeah.
And you never know who you're going to meet or what you're going to see.
Absolutely. That's,
You are proactive.
It is the most amazing melting pot of stuff you can see. You can go around the corner and see Star Trek or zombies or more zombies, monsters. I mean, it's just incredible. And the amount of talent which you see.
Really, it really is.
Yeah, whether it's artwork in the illustration area or cosplay or just stuff like you mentioned, the profiles in Hollywood.
Yes. Yeah.
Stuff.
Profiles in history stuff. Yeah.
Profiles in history of it. Yeah. I mean, it's just truly is amazing. But not only that, it's the buzz for people. There's 135,000 people walking around. And they're all passionate about something.
Right?
Absolutely.
They're not spraying graffiti everywhere and smashing in windows.
Right, that's true.
They come out of that hall. There's thousands and thousands of people. No one's having a punch up. There's a contented buzz.
It's a gathering
And
of
then
passionate
San Diego.
fans.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Like
is.
how
Really.
Comic-Con is usually a pretty peaceful affair.
Yeah,
It is.
You
totally.
don't really get a lot of beating up stories at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
So I did want to ask you though, like that cover that I showed of a Bradbury or the Wicked Witch. How long does it take you to paint something like that? Is this something that you can whip it out in like a couple of days, or is this like something that's how long does it take? Something like that?
It varies really.
All right, tell me.
So sometimes if I'm working on another job, then they can take longer. If I'm working on a film, then that gets really intensive and you can't really do much else. Sometimes I just like to let things sit and stew in the back of my head for a while, and all of a sudden you get a sort of solution.
Okay.
Right.
Now, what I've always wanted is, I always wanted to get a cover, an original piece of artwork from like Famous Monsters magazine. So a lot of the older ones that have been sold, or Kirk Hammett has them, because he buys all of those. But if I wanted to get a Simon Thorpe painting, an original that was on the, was the cover of Famous Monsters, do you have those? Do you sell
Or
those?
does Famous Monsters own that art?
Yeah.
No. I own the artwork. But the ones that I've done so far have been digital. All the film work that I've been doing in recent years has been digital through the nature of it. I have to email the work. They have to, endless sort of corrections and changes, so it's convenient that way. But I've been wanting to get back into painting originals for a long time. It's I want to have something tangible instead of something that vanishes when
that's
you
great.
Yes.
turn off Photoshop. And also, you got something you can sell.
Yes.
Or something you can actually sit down.
Because I would buy it, I'd go, I want that cover of Famous Monsters
do it on
magazine.
tomorrow,
So,
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
I mean, you should,
I feel one coming on as we speak.
Just quit doing this.
I think you're in here.
Yeah, just quit doing the digital shit. Let's get to some oils or watercolors or something. Come on.
So I'm really keen to do that.
That's awesome.
I've got some portraits that I want to do in the style of that Patrick Stewart piece and the stuff you're looking at, James. So
Now, is there any equivalent of Comic-Con in the UK? Is there anything close to this?
There are comic conventions, and a lot of people have sniffed at the amount of money which is being generated here.
Yeah, right.
And you get conventions in England, but I think sometimes they're run by people who don't actually necessarily know as much as they could do about the stuff that their convention is sort of representing. They're more interested in I think it would come from the autograph fair side of things.
Yeah.
Right,
rather than
right.
the comic side of things, or
But,
pop culture side of things.
We've had some. What I love is when some of the actors actually from some Hammer films have come over here.
Oh, God.
And
yeah.
oh my,
Veronica Carlson or
Caroline Munro.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh.
Well, she was here some years ago,
Yeah.
and Ray Harryhausen was showing his drawings.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Golden
They were,
Voyage.
they were incredible. I mean, all his sort of pencil drawings or fantastic.
Incredible.
fantastic.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of concept artists could look at that sort of thing. Because the trouble is with a lot of things, whether it's comic artists or concept artists, people tend to look at the stuff that their next door neighbours are doing more than looking further afield. And then things end up looking really sort of samey after a while. I'll probably get ostracised for saying this, but I do think that,
Oh, yes.
if you go around,
Not here.
But if you go around Comic-Con, there's such a diverse range
Right.
of stuff. Whether
Oh
it's-
my
whether it's
God.
Every end of
cartoony
the
or
spectrum.
realistic or-
Isn't it?
and it's just a wonderful opportunity to just bombard your brain with anything and everything and get an absolute fix from that.
Right.
You know,
Very
be
inspiring.
energized by it.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing too, is that there's so many people I know who, again, say like, I'm so sick of Comic-Con because it's so commercialized and it's this corporate trade show. It's like, well, yeah, it is that. True. But it's also all the stuff that we love, and it's a million different artists who care about what they do, and every different possible influence that you could like, no matter what you enjoy in this genre. You're going to find it here somewhere.
Yeah. You're
Well,
going to see.
I think it's fantastic that it's giving people who've got all sorts of niche talents. I mean, all these statues, whether it's Hot Toys or that creature statue that you went on the sort of epic hunt for
Yes.
a few years back.
Well, yeah.
You know,
I'll
I
tell
mean,
you about
where
it.
else would people get the opportunity to even make these things and be paid properly for doing these things?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're,
That
you're
was the
going to see stuff at Comic-Con that you're not going to see anywhere else. You know,
Although there's a guy, you brought up Quatermass because I'm just
love Quatermass.
love Quatermass, especially Quatermass in the Pit.
Right.
And there's a guy in Thailand, Martin Cage, Distinctive Dummies.
Distinctive dummies. Yes.
They do all these great figures of like kind of Mego size of stuff that I never thought anyone would ever make a figure of. So like he actually did a Captain Kronos vampire hunter.
Right.
And the most recent thing that I found was a Dr. Quatermass from Quatermass in the Pit.
The Andrew Keir.
Yes, Andrew
playing,
Keir with the Martian.
the little Martian
looks
insect
great.
carcass.
Yeah.
The,
That looks
the-
great.
the level of
Artistry?
Yeah, it's just absolutely mind-boggling of all these sorts of incredible things. I saw some dinosaurs over at I think it's called Centurion or something like that.
Yeah. I think I saw I saw those dinosaurs.
And
Very
we've
nice.
also got Arnold Schwarzenegger's Conan.
Yes, that's that's
And
beautiful.
yes,
Yes.
I took Bill Stout over to look at the dinosaurs, and he had designed the outfit that Conan was wearing when Schwarzenegger did
Yeah.
it. And they were all over
Right,
him, you know.
right.
I mean, it's
I think they also had a
incredible.
gremlin there. They had a gremlin from Gremlins 2. It was a little gizmo, and he had his little
bloody amazing,
his
aren't
bow and arrow. But next to him, did you see it? It was the bubbly, disgusting
Spike.
Yes,
Yes,
Spike,
that's
the
right,
melted
yeah.
spike.
Melted
Did you see
spike,
that?
yeah, that's
I got
great.
a picture of it. That was
Yeah.
beautiful.
And they
Yeah,
had
it
Conan
was.
the King too.
That's what he was saying.
Yes, that's
very
right,
nice.
yes.
Cool.
Did you,
yeah.
there was Conan, but there was also Conan with the makeup on.
Yeah,
and
Conan
he-
the
That was
Destroyer.
also done-
Right,
that was
right.
also designed by Bill, and I'd taken him over there to see the dinosaurs, and all of a sudden he was the belle of the ball because they had all his Conan work there.
That's awesome.
He's so
Amazing.
great. He's so great. I remember last year we saw that he was selling the original artwork of the Rock and Roll High School Ramones poster.
Wow.
The original artwork. And
Bill.
yeah.
Yeah, his booth is absolutely amazing. He's somebody needs to break his knuckles because he's so prolific. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just and in a diverse range of styles as well.
Matt, did you buy that Ramones thing?
Oh, I didn't have the bank.
I mean, for our listeners,
Somebody
I know.
did though. Somebody did buy
Somebody
it that
did,
weekend.
and I was really sad.
We
'cause
know
that would-
we know how
Wow.
Yeah.
big of a Ramones fan you
the
are.
fact that it was right there, I got to, he was so nice too. He like, come in and look at it
Yeah.
close up, and we took a picture.
what did
and
it
he
go
signed my
for?
poster.
yeah. What
Do you
was the
remember how
asking
much
price? Do you remember?
it cost?
It was a lot. It was
Like what? $250?
no, it was thousands and thousands of dollars,
Right,
which
right.
it should be because I mean,
Right,
like
right.
his
The
stuff
Ramones,
is,
yeah.
yeah, and it's such an iconic piece of work too.
Well, you get the original illustration dealers. There's people like Mitch Hitchkowitz. She's got Bob Peake worked there this year from The Hunt for Red October. I mean, it's just incredible to see these original pieces.
Yeah,
And it's what's more, you don't see that kind of thing being produced now because since Photoshop, the digital world has come along,
Right.
and people just want sort of photorealistic balloon heads on their posters all the time.
Yeah.
now.
Right, yep,
Poster art
that's
has
all it
really
is.
gone downhill.
Poster
in a
art,
big
poster
way.
art sucks now. I mean,
What-
it's changed ever since kind of like it changed like kind of like in the '80s, but
Yeah.
I mean, all the posters in the 70s and like they were so great. It was
great
artwork.
original
Look at
artwork.
Frank
yeah.
McCarthy's Bond posters of James Bond walking around a volcano.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Amazing.
not
Right.
It's absolutely. Your eye can just travel over that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It means you want to go and see the movie. It's not just a boring
Right.
thing with,
Right.
Well, and that was the thing too, is that back in that day, that poster art would conjure up. Sometimes the poster would be better
Better
than
than the movie.
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely, sure.
but still, it would get you excited about the film, and
Right.
to
Yeah.
just see a photo of some guy's face, and it's the title of the movie. And you go, okay, well, I guess it seems like you're in it. So
Yeah.
good for
Yeah,
you.
But
right.
even paperbacks now, unless it's a sort of related to a television program or film that's come out, the audience don't seem to think it's got sort of that it's worth anything. Whereas in the 70s, all those paperback publishers, Door and Ballantine and Ace, etc., they were turning out those things as Frazetta covers or Jeff Jones
Yeah,
covers,
yeah.
Right.
etc. And you used to look at these things and you think, Christ, I just want to read that.
Yeah.
That's sort of
Right,
and
right.
there are a couple of vendors here at Comic-Con who carry those old pulp and paperbacks.
Well, and then there's a couple of those vendors who sell the original artwork, which
Right.
like we
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
year. I go by one, and there's like a lot of that kind of like men's adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, right.
Matt, I
Where-
love going through those.
Yeah.
And
I was going to say the sort of thing that Larry likes.
I do. I know. No.
he won't admit it.
No,
but,
no.
you
It's
know.
fun. No, Simon, James and I had this amazing moment last year where it was that one booth they have original pulp artwork, and I was paging through them. I go, God, I'd love to get one of these. And Matt, I came across there was a space painting. Oh, I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of the artist, but the space painting. It was space and this giant spaceship with little tiny astronaut going in. And I looked at it, go, oh my God. That was on my Peachy folder in 6th grade, and I flipped out. And I go up to the guy. I go, can you do a deal on this? I go, well, what are you? I'm thinking, well, $200. This was like $2,500.
Whereas that's how
Down payments?
Yeah.
that's how different we are, because I look at that stuff and I look at the one where there's like 9 naked women escaping from a Nazi prison.
Have you still got it?
All right.
And I go, I think that's what I'd like on my mental when we have,
Oh, really?
a nice,
Really?
nice thing for the dining room for Thanksgiving.
more than the space painting.
Yeah.
Well, another great thing about these dealers is that they'll have the original artwork and then they'll have the actual paperback up.
Yeah, that's
to
cool.
it.
That's
cool.
cool.
That's what
yeah,
Fred,
right.
that's what Fred Tarabbit has, and he has a Guild Elfkin paintings and all sorts of stuff.
It's cool, and it's like a museum, really. It's neat.
There's literally is something for everyone.
And one of these days, I'm actually going to spend the bank and get some of that stuff, because I'd be absolutely willing to spend $3,000 on something like that, especially if it's a beautiful, unique example of pulp art.
Really?
Is everyone in your
I'll
household?
paint something tonight.
Is everyone in your household on board with this?
Done.
Is everyone on board with this in your household?
It's a great idea. I want
Yeah.
naked women running from Nazis on my mantle.
I have a model for you.
Let me at him.
For $3,000.
We'll
or
rent
more.
the Nazi uniform. That's okay.
Simon, I want to thank you so much for coming by. This has been a treat for us.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know
Yes.
you. I know
we
you
see
probably
you every year here,
all
and this is
kinds
the
of-
first time we've been able to have you on the show.
I'm looking forward to more stuff by you. Yeah,
Come back
totally.
and see, yeah.
I hope I get to see another Famous Monsters cover from
Yes.
Now, Simon, do you have anything you want to plug, or do you have a website that people can check out?
I've got a website people can check out, which is called www.simonthorpe.com.
And
It's
that's-
surprisingly, which is SIMONTHORPE.com.
you. Excellent.
Wow, that's catchy.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you, Simon.
Thank you,
No,
Simon.
thank you.
No, thank you.
No, I thank you.
No, thank you.
Ah, thank you
no,
very much.
no. Well, my goodness, this has been a wonderful show.
Incredible.
It's been amazing.
I mean,
has.
the surprise guests that we've had on this show.
Yeah, I mean, it is truly uncanny the way they just kept popping up at
Yeah,
the door.
I mean, it's like we'd think of them and then they would be here.
but you know what's so
crazy.
funny? I mean, it's like
What are the
we're-
odds?
It's
well,
just like the lathe of heaven.
It's right.
They just
yes.
they just are created as we dream them.
I think I might have
Crazy.
dreamed this last
Yeah.
night.
But you know what I love? I love how the like Sean was saying, the genesis of this started around at Comic-Con,
It
where
really-
we have
it really
a party in someone's room.
Yes.
and basically, here we are walking around Comic-Con and telling, hey, come on to the hotel room and come on
Yeah.
in for the party and a little podcast
and it
time.
just shows that people want to join the party. They want to
Yeah.
join the monster party. It's like
well, who doesn't want to
yeah.
join the monster
That's
party?
right. Yeah. Yeah,
tonight
this
tonight
is
was
awesome.
a monster party indeed.
it truly was a party.
Yeah.
And
we had a lot of people in this room at one point.
yeah.
And Comic-Con is the perfect place to do all this.
This is sort of the part of the party where it's winding down a little bit. Maybe we're all kind of hanging around in the kitchen, like that kind of that kind of vibe.
Someone's pants are off right now.
Mine are, but they were in the beginning, so
Right.
nothing has really changed.
And I'm like, I don't know if I'm making any sense. I've been drinking.
It's okay. It's all right.
That's nothing new.
Yeah. But we've had it. This has been great. This is
Night
yet
of the
awesome.
Lepus.
I'm glad you said it, because you have to say that.
Contractually, we now have to say it.
Night
Yeah,
of
We
the
have to talk
Lepus.
about it in some way.
The Night of the Lepus people have sued us, so now we have to mention them in every single episode.
Yes.
I think maybe I plugged that film too much. It's a film I
know.
don't
Not
even
plug
like.
that movie enough.
No, you've made it a smash hit. now.
For listeners, don't see Night of the Lepus.
Okay,
all right. See it if they want.
You can watch
No,
it.
no, there's plenty of stuff out there.
I'm
I'd
waiting for the
rather-
Shout Factory Blu-ray to come out. It better come out
Yeah,
soon.
you know what? I'll
better.
buy it.
Yes,
I'll
I
buy
will
it.
too.
You would buy it.
I would.
You know what? I would get it if there was a special. If they had
Commentary by the Rabbits.
No, not by the Rabbits. By someone.
I think they should have commentary
I
by
think
us.
they're all dead.
Literally,
gonna
the
say,
entire
is everyone-
cast is dead.
Yeah, I think they're all dead. The rabbits
no.
might still be alive.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe there's some behind the scenes footage or something
my
of
God.
them
How
like
they did
setting
those
up the
effects?
rabbits.
If
Yeah.
I could see any behind the scenes footage from
Night of the
Lepus, that might be the
you
happiest
could
I'll ever
die
be.
happy man.
I don't want to end the show talking about Night of the
Perfect.
Lepus.
That's perfect.
Well,
way
Well,
to
you know
end
what?
it.
You know what? I have an idea.
What's that?
Yeah.
What if we ended the show
Yeah.
or started to end the show with
A listener shout out.
Shout out! I love the shout outs.
I love him too. Well, I'm gonna work in 4 this time because
No way, that's
Well,
epic.
Indulge me.
Okay.
Indulge me.
that's
This-
illegal.
Last weekend, I had the opportunity to attend another con, and this was G-Fest. The
G-Fest.
Godzilla Kaiju Convention held in Chicago every year, and we don't usually get to go because it's right before Comic-Con every year.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
But this year, I went ahead and
You said, what the heck?
I said, "What the hell?" Yeah,
Caution to the wind.
caution to the wind, and I'm glad I did because I had a ball, and
I'm jealous. We saw the footage. You
Yeah,
took a lot
I-
of footage
I
of that
can't believe
convention,
it.
and it looks great.
It was great. Maybe next year we can all go.
It would be great.
yeah, we'd like to
By the
try.
way, listeners, the costume contest alone, you need to go to this thing.
It was run by the same guy who publishes G-Fan magazine.
Which we love.
Yeah, and he's been doing this every year for like 23 years. And so, yeah, it's definitely worth doing. A lot of, everybody's really, really into Godzilla and Kaiju, and that's all you hear walking around the hotel.
It's great.
But, I'm wearing my Monster Party t-shirt representing, and I actually get stopped by 4 different listeners.
You were mobbed by fans.
Which is
That's awesome.
unprecedented. I was thrilled. One of them, Thomas Fitch from Illinois.
Thomas!
Awesome.
Love you, Thomas.
Yeah, Thomas actually said that he agreed with me that Destroy All Monsters was overrated. Thank you very much.
Okay, he's
Thank
dead
you,
to me
Thomas.
now.
That's all right.
Dead- no,
it's okay.
no.
He cares.
Okay, no.
He,
Yes.
just, he cares. That's the important thing.
Yeah, he's a
Also,
Godzilla fan.
A gentleman named Kent Nessa who
Kent!
has
right.
his own podcast called Daikaiju Network.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, very
We'll check
nice
it out.
guy. Brian Clark from Iowa.
Oh,
Brian!
Yeah, Brian. Yeah.
Iowa.
Brian,
Iowa.
we correspond a lot with him on Facebook, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And an artist named Nick Shevelev, who's a very, very good artist. I saw him in Artist Alley.
All right,
Nick!
Nick!
Thanks for listening, Nick.
Nick's got a website called nickshev.com.
Nick Shev.
Check it out.
So all these
Monster Partiers.
guys saw you with a Monster Party T-shirt and just
It was amazing.
All right,
I
that's
was
awesome.
like, oh my God, that is so, I guess, our demographic. And I want to thank
Yeah,
each
really.
and every one of these guys for their support.
Yeah.
and
Yes.
and
Sincerely.
Yeah.
Well,
there was just
awesome.
mind blown.
You know, it's funny because it makes me think, God, we should go to this convention.
we really
Yeah,
should.
really.
It's kind of made for us, I think.
yeah, totally.
I mean, we're Godzilla fans too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Huge!
I mean, Comic-Con is a given. We cannot skip Comic-Con because that's what, that's the mecca.
Yeah.
But if we can work in G-Fest too, it's just all the better.
Yeah,
You
sounds
took
good.
so much great footage of that convention, and every moment of it, there was a Godzilla theme sing along.
Yeah.
There was the costume contest. The dealer's room was just like wall to wall vinyl.
And you know what I loved about your footage was how many kids were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Good.
I mean, I know
with great parents, clearly.
Yeah, like me, educating your kid about Godzilla
Monsters,
and
yeah.
monsters. And
all ages, all generations. It was
cool.
wonderful. So let's also remind our listeners that you can find us on Facebook and YouTube at Monster Party TV. On Twitter, please follow us at Monster Party HQ. On Instagram, the handle is Monster Party HQ. And a reminder now that you can also download us for free on Google Play Music.
Google Play Music.
Yeah. Another door has opened.
Indeed.
To the party.
Indeed. And if you're listening to us on iTunes, please take a moment and write a review on iTunes because we love reading your reviews.
We do. We really, really do. And I just want to take a moment to also special thanks to Ken Hanley of Fangoria.
We love Ken.
Yes.
Fangoria Magazine. Thanks for helping us get into.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
appreciate
Right.
it.
He helped you guys get
Yeah,
past
he's a
that.
lovely man.
Yeah.
We're crazy about him.
Yes.
Indeed.
Fangoria Magazine, they've been very supportive of us, and we really appreciate it. Thank you, Ken.
Awesome.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely.
Oh, and let's not forget, we've got a very special event coming.
Actually, buddy, you are right. God, I've been drinking so much. It's been one heck of an evening. Look, for our listeners out there, if you're in the Los Angeles area on Saturday, August 13th, Monster Party is going to be at Creature Features in Burbank, California. Creature Features is located at 2904 Magnolia Boulevard. And
great store.
Yes, a great
We
store.
love it.
And check this out, guys. On Saturday the 13th, they're having their Godzilla All Art Attack 2.
What?
Yes, and this is where they get artists from all over the country to do different interpretations of Godzilla. And this is like
Awesome.
in celebration of the new movie that came out in Japan.
The
That
new
were
Japanese
Shin
the
Godzilla.
Japanese,
Right.
yeah. And so they're having all this beautiful artwork, and we are going to be there at the art show. Goes from like 5 to 7. Then at 7:30. We're going to be there to do a podcast.
right. Yes, we are.
It's a celebration of
At Creature
Godzilla.
Features.
At Creature
With a
Features.
live audience.
With a live audience.
And we're actually we're going to talk for a bit. We're going to invite some people from the audience to talk about
God
Godzilla.
knows what's going to happen.
No,
Exactly.
And we're going to
And you can be part of it.
Yes, you can, and we're going to raffle off some stuff. It's going to be lots of fun. But the
Free
big,
things-ish.
But the big thing to me is we're going to premiere our Japan episode.
How about
Year
that?
in the making.
You can see it
Yes.
with us.
And
Yes.
this is our trip to Japan
trip to
that we
Japan.
did last year, and we did
And-
a podcast on our trip.
Yes.
But we actually filmed
Yes.
everything that we did.
Oh, the
And-
sights, the sounds.
so what you heard in our podcast about our trip, now you can see.
you could see. You could see the
Ex-
toys.
Exactly,
You
and
can
and
see
the tin
selfie stick.
Yes, and the Tin Toy Museum and the Godzilla site. It's going to be great.
Yes, the frustration,
We'll
the-
hopefully we'll eventually put it up on YouTube. But we're really excited if you
Yeah.
can be at Creature
It's
Features
like the epic
on
Monster
August
Party
13th.
pilgrimage.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's going to be great. You
We'd
gotta
go
check it
back
out.
there tomorrow, right? Wouldn't we? I think
Yeah.
if we could, if there was a transporter,
yeah,
oh my
yeah,
God,
totally.
we'd all be broke.
So again, remember Saturday, August 13th.
The
The
13th
13th.
of August.
2016
In Los Angeles.
In
no,
Los Angeles.
no, Burbank,
Burbank,
Oh,
which is
Burbank,
Creature
which
Features.
is
the
part of
county of
LA.
Los Angeles.
2904 Magnolia Boulevard.
Creature
from
Features.
5 to 7. Godzilla Art Attack. An art
You should
show.
go.
Yeah.
If you don't live in LA, you should find some tickets. Get here.
Take a road trip out here.
Yeah, no. If you ever had a reason to come here and waste your miles,
Yeah.
This is
this
it.
is it.
And
really,
you can check out their newsletter at creaturefeatures.com.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
it's going to be epic.
And you've been listening to Monster Party, a presentation of the Fangoria Podcast Network. It's produced by Matt Weinhold and executive produced by Thomas DeFeo and Ken Hanley of Fangoria Entertainment. For press opportunities, advertising inquiries, and information about Monster Party, contact Ken at fangoria.com.
On that note, I am Matt Weinhold.
I am Sean Sheridan.
I'm Larry Stroth.
And I'm James Gonis.
Keep America strong.
Go to Comic-Con, where anything goes. Anything. Are you listening, pants?
Hey!
Hi. Hi, everyone.
You want the fancy hammer? No? Oh, Josh, are we gonna get copies of this, Josh, or is this for your?
No, he's
personal...
going to keep them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey.
He has
Hey,
his-
we're looking at Josh. Hey. All right.
They're gonna go on a website.
Yeah.
Okay.
Josh has a strange fan Monster Party room that he goes into
All
and
right.
screams.
All right. So let's get to this because I know Chris and Josh probably have a lot of other things to do, a lot of parties or something. So
Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff to go to. We got a lot of stuff too, right? We got stuff happening. Remember that? Remember later?
I got nothing.
Oh crap!
I got nothing.
Yeah, remember we're gonna go to that furry party.
The Crab Shack? What?
The Crab Shack.
Flash mob thing.
I want to go to the Crab Shack.
Okay, so don't say anything. Wait till.
And we're gonna do a little bit of
Yeah, we're gonna do a little banter. But
yeah,
no. We're not turning your mic off.
They're coming over, right? They're
No.
thing, right?
Yeah, and we could stop down and do that.
Yeah.
and do a couple versions of it.
Have we checked levels yet?
Okay. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. Whatever works. Well, we can just stop and have you try it and say, knock and see how it sounds there.
Let's see.
But don't knock on the other wall though,
No, not on the wall.
because that's they're gonna.
Yeah, they're gonna think you're.
And then they're gonna come over
Yeah,
and interrupt.
yeah. You should be closer.
Yeah. You're not gonna
How about over here, closer to the?
That sounds like a far away.
Oh,
I
okay,
like
Matt.
that.
Actually, I think that will work.
I like that.
Let's. No.
Do it one more time.
No, I like that.
Do it
door.
one more time.
Because it did sound like far away. So we're talking. Oh,
That's great.
Matt, did you hear that?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
perfect. There's a knock at the door.
Who's not gonna? Who could that be?
Oh my
Oh
god!
my God!
Test.
It's Josh Gilliland.
The lawyer from last season.
Oh, he's serving his papers. What is this?
Wait, have we tested levels and stuff? I can't
Yeah.
hear myself.
I never laid a hand on that intern.
You can't hear with
Test,
the smooth.
test. Do I sound good?
Fine
I
young
can't tell.
I
boy.
can hear you.
Test.
Yeah.
I can
Are
hear
you?
you.
Yeah,
Hello,
but see,
Sean
part,
Sheridan,
again,
test.
part of the
Are you-
problem.
are you-
part of the problem is that you're doing your test like test.
I think you're
test.
deaf.
Test. Sean Sheridan.
There.
Is
Oh,
that good?
Hey.
I have to make sure I can. Okay.
Lots of energy,
I
buddy.
can never tell.
Lots of energy.
Sean Sheridan.
Yes.
Okay.
Your past few have been great. I love.
Past
I go.
few. My last two out of 60 have been good.
Yes.
Well, I like it. You go. I'm Sean Sheridan. It was great.
Oh, he's really low.
I'm not hearing.
I can't hear myself either.
Oh, he did turn off your mic.
Well then, never mind.
Just make sure it is on.
And Josh, feel free to move around to get shot this way.
Everybody's phone should be on vibrate.
Oh,
Okay. Give
Nobody's
oh,
calling me. It's not.
yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Oh my God, I better try.
So, oh hey, there.
That's better, right?
I'm Sean Sheridan.
Hey, girls,
Yeah,
talk to that microphone.
ladies.
Hello.
Oh, I didn't know.
Hey,
Well, hi there.
that sounds sexy. Well, can we hear the other? Can we hear the other chick say hi?
Hello.
Okay, all good.
And no making out
So
on the bed
inclusive of his
tonight.
wife.
Don't you ever say that in my presence again.
So we have the
Fucking-
Except that he
Jesus,
went loud
like
enough.
Captain Fun Killer over here.
No,
Convention.
I'm loads of fun.
Yes.
I'm Mr. Fun. Come on.
the premise here. The girls are already here, and then Chris and Josh will be stopping by. Right? That's the idea.
Right.
So make sure I have this straight. Lots to understand, lots to remember.
Dude, no, hey, I've got notes. Where are your notes?
Look at that.
Does anyone else have notes?
You need notes on anything goes.
Yes.
My notes are on my phone, actually.
No, I want notes because there were things. There were. See, I
You want to remember things.
I I took this show seriously.
Oh.
And I went out of my way to make sure that I wrote down things that I could remember and say.
Well,
Is that wrong?
no.
Hey, whatever works for you.
It's great you take.
I
this
live
seriously.
life.
I
don't-
no
you know,
no
I'm-
no. You. It's like hey. It just goes out one ear and out the other. Hey, just hey.
I got locked out on a balcony, so
You know what? And
I don't need a note
no,
to
And,
remind myself
and
that
because of that,
And you got saved by a girl.
that's right.
yeah,
And
always.
But she's.
Ain't it always the way?
Greetings, everyone.
Oh,
Guess what?
Oh, it's
Guess what
James-
happened?
It's James's show.
It's James's show.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it's time to start.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
And now we're at that note, right?
Anything else?
I think we
Is that
covered
okay?
everything. I think
Is-
that's
is
no.
that
That was all
okay?
great. That was nice and sincere. and
was good.
Yeah.
This way.
So it's going to be Keep America Strong.
On that note, I'm Matt Weinhold.
On that note.
Keep America Strong. Go to Comic Con, right?
Go to Comic-Con. And when you're there, anything goes, man.
Yeah. Don't say the man.
What you do at Comic-Con stays at Comic-Con.
Or I love your thing, but anything goes because that's the name of the show.
Yeah.
But don't say man. Anything goes.
Yeah, say man, like man, like
Whatever.
Or,
it's my 2
or
cents.
go to Comic-Con, join the party, something like that.
You go, girl.
Anything goes, chick.
We could do
Thanks for this
different
thread.
versions.
Hey, no, go ahead.
Okay, here we go.
Right? On that... No, there was still some...
Yeah, there were some people talking.
banter.
in here.
Okay.
Yes. If we'd have quiet.
On that note, I am Matt Weinhold.
I am Sean Sheridan.
I'm Larry Stroth.
And I'm James Gonis.
Keep America strong.
Go to Comic-Con, where anything goes. Anything. Well, I don't even expect any positive thing from you because
No.
after anything I ever do, you like
That is not true.
You got something, go for it.
No.
Wow.
You like it?
Sensitivity. That was perfect. That was good.
Was there something else? Go.
That was like
No. I want you to end
Larry,
it.
Do you want something else? Tell him something else. He'll do it.
what could it be?
No, anything goes.
That's it.
Anything goes.
And I am Gina Sheridan.
And anything goes.
That's great.
Pretty epic.
Let's pack up his shit and go.
We had like 3 people here at one point. Whoa.
Anything goes. Are you listening, pants? Yeah?
That's funny.
All
That's-
right.
I like
All
that.
right. We'll do it then. Let's do it.